And so we target those areas that we have longstanding relationships with in the city that we've done work with.
Beyond real estate, Jenkins wants to push into sports.
Sports is something we know very well. So even if it's adjacent to sports, we've been into franchising. We do foods and things that we know are going to be a part of the sport experience.
Jenkins won a Super Bowl with the New Orleans Saints back in 2010 and another as a member of the Philadelphia Eagles in 2017. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
Working as a dedicated Fidelity advisor, I always ask, what's important to you? I'll look at those priorities and goals alongside your full financial picture to build a comprehensive plan designed to help grow and protect your wealth. With proactive portfolio insights and an eye on taxes, I'm here to help you make the most of your money. I'm Laura Maxwell, and I'm a dedicated Fidelity advisor. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE, SIPC.
Pros, save more on what you need to get the job done right. Right now at Lowe's. Get 15% off select custom entry and interior doors. Plus, save $80 on the DeWalt 20-volt Max 2-tool combo kit. Now just $169. And at the Lowe's Pro Desk, bring us your materials list and get a quote in minutes. Handwritten, a photo, or even a sticky note is all you need. Keep your jobs moving faster and on budget at Lowe's. Valid through 7/8 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
You're listening to Milwaukee Black Talk
on 101.7 FM.
The Truth.
And 1510 AM.
W269DL.
Milwaukee, a Milwaukee Black media company.
He steps to the mic with a boom ping ping. Wisdom sharper than a bee's fierce sting. Words like fireflies that light the night. He turns the dark into blazing bright. Boom ping ping, the truth takes wing. Milwaukee's voice, let the city sing. Boom ping ping, hear the freedom ring. Sherwin's the king, oh the airwaves king. Shake the ground, unveils the truth where lies abound. Politics, justice, social streams. He molds the chaos into dreams. No silence here, just the sound of change. Boom, ping, ping, rearrange. Boom, ping, ping, the truth takes wing. Milwaukee's voice, let the city sing. Boom, ping, ping, hear the freedom ring. Sherwin's the king or the airwaves king. Through the static, through the noise, he amplifies the people's voice. Boom, ping, ping, like a heartbeat's call. He's got the wisdom to break down walls. Yeah.
Good morning. Welcome to the program. Today is Tuesday, July 7th, 2026. And, I touched on this yesterday. I know Truth in the Morning with Homer Blow and Bailey Coleman, they touched on it as well because it's a story that I believe that is much larger than the development project itself because it really shows it's a microcosm of political organizing, community and resident discontent, but there's also a lot of election year antics involved in the Midtown project. The Walmart that was supposed to be a computer research facility, a library, and some affordable housing units. So all of these things came to a head at once, and that's why I've been talking about it so incessantly, both here and on my Evening Digest podcast, Hughes Views 414, because there's a lot to unpack. And so the revised plan, and there's no guarantee that the Planning Commission that meets again later this month is going to accept this plan and move this forward to the Common Council. I do know this much. Whatever the City Plan Commission agrees on is likely what the Common Council is ultimately going to do, because the idea and the proposal and the development at Midtown is something that the entire council is going to have to take up. But they're not going to debate it at the council level. They're just going to take the recommendations that come out of this committee. And we have seen that the City Plan Commission can be moved by people that show up and voice opposition. They don't really give much respect to actual residents. As I understand it, the people that testified at that 6.5-hour meeting a couple of weeks ago, the majority of the actual residents of the 2nd District spoke out in favor of the development. Now, I know it seems almost counterintuitive. Like, if there's so many people against it, then it has to be bad, right? Like, that's just on its surface. You would think, well, people are against it, it must be a horrible thing. That's not exactly the point. It's easy for an organization that has a set of positions, and one of them is anti-data center, and you can go into the entire reason why some people hate artificial intelligence, because it represents big tech billionaires. It represents taking people's jobs, and those are very real threats. And so it's very easy, if you are a political organization that supposedly supports working people and workers' rights, you may not like AI. I know a couple of years ago, maybe in 2022 or 2023, a lot of our television shows were all playing reruns because the writers, the Hollywood writers, they all went on strike for a really long time. Like, movies weren't made. Talk shows, late night talk shows had to do reruns because all of the writers went on strike, because those writers were very worried that they would be replaced by artificial intelligence. Because guess what? AI can write a script and write a monologue for a late night comedian, maybe in some cases even better than a group of actual human writers. And so the reason why the writers' strike went on as long as it did, and why we had to watch rerun programs, is because they wanted a new contract with these studios that they would be protected from artificial intelligence. So I don't want to underestimate the real fear of what AI could turn into. So that being said, there is major opposition to it. Here's the problem. What was going into Midtown was never an AI data center, but the people in that neighborhood are so woefully misinformed that another group can come in and tell them that it is an AI data center, and some people would actually believe it. It did not encourage anyone. No one encouraged people to actually do some digging and read all the public documentation of what that facility is going to be. So I do have, somewhere I've got the statement from Alderman Mark Chambers. I did go over it briefly last night, but I know the audience here is a little bit different than the one in the evening. I'll probably read the alderman's statement, but here's the big thing about that development. The computer research facility has been removed because maybe there was too much public outcry. Maybe it was a bad idea from the start. I don't think that's what happened. I think that it was removed because of rhetoric, and the rhetoric fits into the Party for Socialism and Liberation. It fits into their agenda. They don't want anything related to AI. And this was an easy win, but I think that also shows the ignorance of the black community, or at least in the 2nd District. When somebody from somewhere else that you don't know, you've never seen before, they've never established credibility in your community, they've never registered voters, they've never done backpack giveaways, which is a really low bar because everybody does backpack giveaways in Milwaukee. And none of us found it suspect that a group of people that dropped out of the sky, and they're here because this is an election year, and they do have a candidate. Francesca Hong is their candidate. We'll talk about her very briefly in a little while. And they need to gain some kind of momentum and make a name for themselves, and this was the perfect way to do it in an underserved, underdeveloped, and undereducated African-American community. I'm just laying it out just the way it is because I have some juxtaposition here, because residents in Hartford, Wisconsin. Now, you might say Hartford is a little bit different. It's one of those wild counties. It's outside of Milwaukee, but Hartford residents pushed back on a solar panel project proposed near Highway 83 because the residents who live in Hartford want to protect their natural farmland, and they are very much opposed to the solar panels being put up in some of this vacant farmland that's in Wisconsin. You would think that the Party for Socialism and Liberation would go out to Hartford and organize on behalf of the residents that don't want solar technology taking away their natural resource. But they're not doing that, are they? Because they wouldn't be welcome. Because if you live in a community like Hartford, you would reject outsiders, even if they are on your side. Do you think that the Party for Socialism and Liberation, their pink and blue hair and their dirty feet and their Birkenstock shoes, do you think that they would be welcomed out in Hartford? Absolutely not. That's why they don't go. Even though this kind of fits in their agenda as well, siding with the people that want to push back on solar technology, big tech coming into their small, quiet, quaint little town. But they're not out there. They're at Midtown because we are easier to fool and easier to do, and we welcome anybody into our meetings. I just find this very unusual yet ironic at the same time. And some may think, well, Sherwin, because that's what they always say. Well, Sherwin, Hartford and Washington County, it's a very Republican county. Well, you know, some of these suburban counties are trending much more Democratic, and you know that Kamala Harris actually outperformed Joe Biden in Washington County, where Hartford is. So there are Democratic inroads being made in Washington County, and you would think that the Party for Socialism and Liberation would jump on this agenda item too, because residents are pushing back against technology. They don't want these solar panels in their community, but I want you to notice that they are absent from going out to Washington County and going out to the town hall meeting that they had last night to push back against solar panels. So they're very intentional in doing what they are doing and crushing the development at Midtown. So here's what I believe is going to happen, even though this information has not yet been revealed to me, because I somewhat know how these things work. The developer, I believe his name is Trent Overhue. He's the one that paid. I think he got ripped off. Sorry, Trent, if you're listening. He paid $3.5 something million for that old Walmart site. Way too much money. You can buy a whole downtown office building with rent-paying tenants for less than $3.5 million. So he bought the Walmart. He got ripped off. It's not worth that much. It's a big empty box. It's got electricity. It's got water. That's it. Now he also bought the rest of the land and the parking lot. That's not highly valued land. So he buys it for $3.5 million. Probably had to borrow some money or had to borrow against his other assets to get this land. And he's like, okay, well, he's thinking that he's going to recoup some of his money because the tenant that would have the computer research center, and I think that he has some ownership in that computer research center, but this is how he was going to recoup some of his money because dude got ripped off. I don't think that I would pay $3.5 million for a Walmart that was open and fully functioning, but that's just me. And he's probably thinking, well, I'll have this computer research center and that's going to bring in some revenue, but also it was a benefit to the city and to the residents because that private entity, that private business would be paying property taxes, which I believe we all need some relief. We need, at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, we need more businesses in the city of Milwaukee to buy, to lease private property in this city so they can pay more property taxes so that the burden of increased property taxes doesn't fall on the residents who are not exactly making more money every single year. Also keep this in mind. The more people that leave the city of Milwaukee, because we've lost a lot of population. In fact, in the last 20 years, we've lost the equivalent of probably 100,000 people because we lost 2 aldermanic districts. And they were African-American aldermanic districts that we lost. So we've lost so much population here that we actually have less political representation right now than we did in the year 2000. In fact, Milwaukee, after the Civil War and probably leading up to, I don't know, the 1990s, we were in the top 15, certainly the top 20 most populated cities in the country, not even close to that anymore. So keep this in mind as people are leaving Milwaukee because, you know, they don't like the crime, they don't like the violence. It's really tough to convince a family to move to Milwaukee, especially if you have children, because there's not enough public schools that are meeting and exceeding the mark of what most parents want when it comes to quality education. So Milwaukee is a very tough sell. But the more people that leave, the higher the tax burden is on all of us. The more people that move to Milwaukee, that's more people that are paying income taxes and sales taxes and property taxes and every other kind of tax. So that actually helps us, and that eases the tax burden, because the amount of money that we need to run this city is spread out over many more thousands of people. But when those thousands of people leave, then the full weight and cost of running this city effectively and efficiently falls on the shoulders of a shrinking number of people, you see. So I am very much in favor of development, especially because I've seen what downtown has become. I was watching some random podcasters on YouTube. I don't know how this came into my feed, but these dudes travel the world, and they go to like the best bars in select cities. So one of their podcasts, they were in Tokyo, Japan. They go all over the world. Their most recent podcast, they actually came to the city of Milwaukee. You would never think that Milwaukee would be named in the company, of these podcasters, or even considered as a destination for people that travel the world. Another one, the Black Travel Summit. They are a group of content creators, African Americans, mostly millennials, might even be some Gen Z folk in the Black Travel Summit. They're an organized group, bunch of content creators, and they travel the world, and they go to different destinations, and they document their experiences being an African American and traveling to international destinations all over the place. Europe, Asia. Last year, the Black Travel Summit was in Rio de Janeiro, and they documented what it's like, how they're treated, the service that they get, the do's and the don'ts. It's actually really, really informative, some of the content that they make. They're coming to Milwaukee this fall. So Milwaukee is a place that is certainly on the map, and we should be taking better advantage of us being on the map by welcoming development instead of making it much more difficult. Because if I was a developer, I would say screw Milwaukee. I'd go any place north or any place west where that kind of development is welcome, because you want more private businesses paying taxes, because that's a whole big thing of the left. These rich people are not paying taxes. Okay, well, we have land available that they can buy, and so yes, they actually will be paying taxes, and those taxes will benefit the greater good. However, I digress. The deal was Trent Overhue was going to have his 19,000 square foot computer research facility. And in exchange for him having that part of the development, now remember, this is the part that's generating the profit. That and the storage facility where you can like store your furniture or whatever. I don't know why storage facilities have become so popular. I don't know what is going on with that phenomenon. But then he agreed with the city that he would sell the city the land for the library and the public housing units, which we need, for $1. Are you following me? He bought the Walmart site, $3.5 million. He wants to use less than 20,000 square feet of the 160,000 square feet for a computer research center, so 19,000 square feet. And in exchange for that, he sold the city of Milwaukee the land to build 2 100-unit affordable housing complexes and green space and a library for $1. Now that the Computer Research Center has been axed from the development, here is what I think he needs to do, and this is probably what's going to happen. He's not going to sell the city the land for $1 anymore, because that was contingent upon him having his computer research facility that was going to generate profit. Hear me when I say this. He needs to rip us off now, because remember the deal was he sold the city the land for $1, which we were going to build a library and public housing. Now he needs to sell that land for market value. Now, instead of the city receiving tax revenue, taxpayers are going to subsidize the housing units. We're going to subsidize the green space. We're going to subsidize the library, and the city's probably going to pay $400,000, $500,000, or $600,000 for the land that we would have gotten for $1 had he had his computer research facility tucked away off to the side of that 19,000 square foot parcel. We are getting played. So here's what I'm going to do, because there's a little bit more detail I want to share with you, including a news article in which someone is quoted speaking on behalf of this quote-unquote win for the community. So I'm going to take a break, come back, continue our chit-chat. But before I go, if you haven't done so already, because the title of today's program is The Secular Firing Squad, as opposed to a circular firing squad, where you have people that have the same interests that are just always arguing and debating and they're shooting at each other. That's the circular firing squad. The secular firing squad is almost like a play on the circular firing squad, because now our political viewpoints is where we are arguing and disagreeing, because it's not necessarily people that are fighting over the small details of the Democratic proposals. Do we impeach Donald Trump? Do we just make policy? Not that kind of firing squad. Now it's moderates versus progressives versus conservatives versus MAGA versus Trumpers. So it's not religious now. Our biggest beefs that we have amongst one another are political. But some time ago, in fact, not that long ago, our beefs were, in fact, non-secular. It was a non-secular firing squad, because in 1960, you know why John F. Kennedy almost lost that election? He won by the equivalent of 1 vote in every precinct in America. It was an incredibly close election because people didn't want to vote for a Catholic. Isn't that wild? Like, now you don't even, I don't care who's a Catholic or not. But our beefs back in the day used to be religious. Oh, I don't like them because they're an Episcopalian. What do you mean they're a Methodist, a Southern Baptist? I would never. A Lutheran? Well, I could never have a Lutheran representing me on the county board. Now I don't even care. So it's not religious nowadays. Now it's more our political viewpoints that are the divisions. And so I asked you via the YouTube poll, if you haven't done so already, go to 1017 The Truth on YouTube. Hit subscribe. You can view the in-studio camera, and you can see my famous jersey that I'm wearing today. Jersey that I'm wearing is famous. You can only see it on the YouTube. It's very famous. It is a shirt representing the drink of champions, as indeed I am a champion. But I'm curious as to how often you all attend religious services, because it's not a question we ask very often. How often do you attend religious services? Weekly, a few times a month, a few times a year, rarely or never? I'm just trying to get a baseline to see how many times you all go to church. Take a break, come back. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 FM. We'll be back shortly.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we know dads, the ones who know how to build it all, grill it all, and fix it all while still taking the time to share it all. So show them how much you care with great Father's Day gifts for one-of-a-kind dads. Like men's work and sport short-sleeve plaid shirts, just $19.99. And new at Blaine's, save $50 on a Milwaukee M18 leaf blower when you buy a qualifying Milwaukee line trimmer. Find value on the gifts he'll value. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
You can't buy a best friend. You can love them, walk them, pet them, and care for them, whether they want you to or not. You can take a picture or 50. You can fly to the moon, travel the world, or just stay in bed. You can't buy a best friend like that, but you can adopt one. There are millions of pets waiting for a best friend just like you. Help us save them all at bestfriends.org.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Bass.
Major pushback from the community has officially changed the fate of the abandoned Walmart at the Midtown Center on West Hope Avenue. And so this debacle, this drama, this whole scenario is the result of a bunch of things coming to head all at once. Obviously, development is controversial. The community needs it. And also keep in mind that if that pick and save leaves, then we're going to see a repeat and a replication of what happened with Northridge, because Midtown is that kind of anchor. Like, you need that. Walmart was an anchor, and before that it was Capital Corp. And if you lose that anchor, then everything in that entire area will suffer. Property values will decline. And that pick and save is hanging on by a thread, because, grocery stores have been closing left and right in the last couple of years in the city of Milwaukee. So if that Walmart remained vacant, it would turn the second aldermanic district and literally the center of the city into a vast wasteland like the 9th Aldermanic District where Northridge is. The only development at Northridge is a youth prison in that whole area. The whole northwest side of the city there's nothing. It's a wasteland. And so if you have space that is dedicated for a large retail anchor and that it sits vacant, it is going to dilapidate the entire area, and Milwaukee doesn't need more of that. We haven't even learned the lessons from Northridge. Northridge has been out of business since 2002, and look at how the entire northwest side of the city just completely declined. There's nothing over there. There used to be shops and stores and car dealerships and higher levels of home ownership. It has just been absolutely gutted. And that's what happens if you don't develop that space, because we need revenue. We need businesses to come in and pay taxes to help foster that area. And also can see a direct impact on the schools in that area. The schools, of course, have taken a decline as well, because when people leave and when businesses leave and no development comes in, then the taxes that we need to fund our schools dissipates. And guess what MPS is going to do? Ask you for more referendum money. That money's not supposed to be coming from us. It's supposed to be coming from the residents and the homeowners and the business owners that live in the area surrounding the school. Now we, people that live away from Vincent High School, have got to help fund Vincent High School because there's not enough private businesses paying taxes to fund Vincent High School. It's a problem. And you ever wonder why we don't get more people that want to run for office? A lot of y'all are thinking, oh, we need a new mayor and we need new elected officials. Nobody wants to do it. I don't think it's worth it. Oh, I used to have political ambitions when I was 27, was the last time I seriously considered running for office. In my 20s. Since then, ain't no way. I'm 51 years old and I'll be damned. Ain't no way. A quarter century was the last time I even considered running for office. And then I saw what it's really like. Oh, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Representing insufferable people? No, thank you. That's not for me. I'd rather just yell at them on the microphone. It's a lot easier. From CBS 58, major pushback from the community has officially changed the fate of the abandoned Walmart at Midtown Center on West Hope Avenue. The proposed development project has been a hot topic, and now residents' voices are being heard. Keep in mind, residents' voices are being heard. Let me continue. The computing research facility that was originally proposed to be among the new additions in the Midtown Center development project has been scrapped after community feedback. Quote, I think the message was heard loud and clear, said District 2 Alderman Mark Chambers. Alderman Chambers held 3 public information sessions where passionate residents voiced their concerns against the computer research facility, saying it resembled a data center. It resembled a data. It resembled one. Sometimes a man can resemble a woman too. It's not a real man. It resembles. Quote, the power of the people really does win when we put our full force behind. We, she says. That's Samantha Dukas, an organizer with the Party for Socialism and Liberation. Here's the problem. She is speaking on behalf of the community, and she lives on Astor Street. She is quoted in the article of speaking on behalf of the people that live in the vicinity, in the area, in the 2nd Aldermanic District, and she doesn't live in that district. That's the problem. The person who is speaking on behalf of the community residents is not from the community. Y'all should be embarrassed. If I lived in the 2nd Aldermanic District, and also this is crappy journalism unless they're being satirical here on CBS 58, but to interview someone who was from an outside political group and saying that she, Samantha Dukas, who was the executive director of the Party for Socialism and Liberation, is speaking on behalf of the people is nauseating. And so here's my response to that. And we know that they have a political candidate who is running for governor, and the whole reason why I think they're as active and as engaged as they are in this Midtown development, because it checks a lot of boxes for them. It also fits into Francesca Hong's socialist agenda. And so if the Party for Socialism and Liberation, in connection with the Democratic Socialists of America, feel that they can interject their thoughts, their opinions, and their agenda in the African-American community, because let's be clear, we are not, as black folks, as voters, we have to be productive and we have to be a little bit more transactional with our politics. We can't have these ultra lefty agenda items because that doesn't fare well for black people. It never has, because democratic socialism doesn't account for race as much as it accounts for the working class. It's like their whole catch-all category, but they do not have specific policy adjustments to account for race. And I'm gonna give you some more details about that later on in the show, because there's a racial disparity that is staring us in the face, but nobody wants to talk about it, including Francesca Hong. But if that is how her organizing arm and how her supporters, whether it be the PSL or Democratic Socialists of America, if that's how they are, Democratic Socialists of Wisconsin or Milwaukee, whatever the hell their chapter is, but if that is how they're going to approach the African-American community, because we are easily fooled, easily duped, and easily lied to, then I cannot, in good faith and good conscience, vote for Francesca Hong, because she will lead the state that exact same way. I personally, I cannot. I cannot vote for someone whose organizers will go into a community and prey on vulnerable people and change the narrative of a development using pure lies, because she will likely lead the state that way, and I do not want a governor. For me, like, that's a Republican isn't even that bad. A Republican will just ignore black people. What these folks are going to do is come in and try and tell black people how to think. And she'll put some of those people in her cabinet. Oh, I guarantee you some of the top organizers for the Democratic Socialists and the PSL will be in her gubernatorial administration. They'll be leading departments. The Department of Children and Families, they'll be leading economic development. And because of how they are showing themselves and introducing themselves to the African-American community, I cannot in good faith vote for her. So if she becomes a Democratic nominee, I'm voting third party. You can disagree all you want. This is a Sherwin decision, because I cannot in good conscience and good faith vote for someone whose organizing arm has gone into our community and is now speaking on behalf of the people in the 2nd District. Alderman Chambers held 1, 2, 3 public information sessions where passionate residents voiced their concerns against the computer research facility, saying it resembled a data center. Quote, "The power of the people really does win when we put the full force behind it," said Samantha Dukas, an organizer with the Party for Socialism and Liberation. Like, they're getting credit for changing this development, and nobody sees a problem with that. I'm going to take a break, come back, continue our casual little chit-chat and banter, and I'm going to check in with the folks in the YouTube chat. You're listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. I'll be back shortly.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we know dads, the ones who know how to build it all, grill it all, and fix it all while still taking the time to share it all. So show them how much you care with great Father's Day gifts for one-of-a-kind dads, like men's work and sport short-sleeve plaid shirts, just $19.99. And new at Blaine's, save $50 on the Milwaukee M18 leaf blower when you buy a qualifying Milwaukee line trimmer. Find value on the Gifts Hill value. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
You can't buy a best friend. You can love them, walk them, pet them, and care for them, whether they want you to or not. You can take a picture or 50. You can fly to the moon, travel the world, or just stay in bed. You can't buy a best friend like that, but you can adopt one. There are millions of pets waiting for a best friend just like you. Help us save them all at bestfriends.org.
Doctors Without Borders is delivering life-saving medical care where it's needed most in communities around the world. From bandaging war-wounded patients in Sudan to providing clean drinking water in Haiti, we're in more than 70 countries worldwide, bringing patients from sick to recovering, from emergency to aid, from crisis to care. This life-saving care is made possible by a global movement of supporters like you. Thank you.
In sitcoms, when someone has a problem, they just blurt it out and move on.
Well, I lost my job and my parakeet is missing. How was your day?
But the real world is different. Managing life's challenges can be overwhelming. So, what do? We get support. The Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council have mental health resources available for you at loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. See how much further you can go when you take care of your mental health.
Talking about guns with others might not always feel comfortable, but it could save a life. Here's a way to start a conversation. Your family is going over to your neighbor's home for dinner for the first time. How would you ask if there are any unlocked guns in the home?
Hey!
Hey, we're so excited for tonight. Before we come over, though, may I ask if there are any unlocked guns in your home?
Our guns are stored securely, locked in a safe that the kids can't access.
Awesome.
Learn how to have the conversation at agreetoagree.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
I was 5 and he was 6. We rode on horses made of sticks. He wore black and I wore white. He would always win the fight. Bang, bang, he shot me down. Bang, bang, I hit the ground. Bang, bang, that awful sound. Bang, bang, my baby shot me down.
James says he's not losing any money on that building because he gets the write off all the losses on the property taxes. What kind of sense does that make? So if that's still not making money. That's not generating profit. That's antithetical. So yeah, of course he gets to, but who wants to buy a $3.5 million building and parcel of land just to use it as a tax write-off? Like, that's no kind of advantage. I'd imagine but if that was the case, because it is a loss, it's going to be a loss, especially if there's nothing that's going to be generating profit and revenue. And I'm not sure how much a storage facility, all it's going to do is probably expand the storage facility. I'm not sure how much revenue and profit a storage facility would bring, but that's not an advantage to purchase a property for $3.5 million. I would rather have my $3.5 million instead of buying something. So losing my $3.5 million and I get to write off the depreciation, what, $30,000 or $40,000 a year? No, that's not. But this is one of the problems. So in the illiteracy epidemic that we have in our city, and James, I'm not calling you illiterate, but black people don't know money. It is a foreign concept to us. Money for us has got to be turned into something tangible, something we can wear, something that we drive. Money is not a sole asset in and of itself. Here's the concept. And there are many concepts, but we're not taught about financial literacy. And financial literacy will kill you just like any other kind of illiteracy. Money is not how much you have. So black folks have income. Absolutely, we make money. Sure, some of us have fantastic salaries as the blacks. And we go and buy a Lexus and go and buy all sorts of things because it's almost like we have to make it look like we have money. And it's crazy because some of the richest people that I've seen look dirt poor. And some of the people that are not going to eat tonight are head to toe in Gucci. It's the weirdest of ironies. Money is not how much you make. It's how much you got that you don't spend. I really want folks to know and understand what I'm saying. It is not how much you make. It's how much money you have that you never have to touch. If you have $3 million in a brokerage account and you don't ever have to touch your $3 million and you're getting 5% a year, you're getting $150,000 off of your $3 million and you don't touch the $3 million, the $3 million then goes to your kids. That's money. Some people will say just making $150,000 a year is having money. No, the hell it's not, because then you will live a $150,000 lifestyle. I was just talking to one of my friends who is a manager of a very high-profile business in this city, and she makes stupid money and lives check to check. I didn't want to say nothing to her because she's cute, but I didn't quite understand the concept of how she can have the prestigious job and career that she has and manages an establishment that I've even talked about before on this program and is damn near broke. She ain't got money. She has income. There's a very big difference. And if I was to ask her, well, how much money do you have that you don't have to touch, that you just have sitting somewhere earning interest, she would say none or probably negative. And so because so few of us understand money, it's a means to an end of a better life, of better health, of less worry, less stress, less anxiety. It's better food. It's better health care. It's a better partner. We think that money is the end in itself. Like, oh, look at all the stuff that I can buy. My mother gets on me even to this day because I don't really like to shop. I'll shop when I absolutely have to. Do I go out to a store and go on a spending spree? No. Like, oh, these socks have a hole in them. Now it is time for me to purchase another pair of socks. That's how Sherwin lives, because I got a place for every penny I earn. And I also know that the worst place, this is a Sherwin thing now, but I also want to communicate this to the broader community because we don't know a damn thing about money. We don't. And it hurts us dramatically. For me, sometimes the worst place for my money is in my pocket. Oh, yeah, it is. And I know that about myself because if I got cash in my pocket, hey, how much is that? How much is it? 200? Here, I got it right here in my pocket. I got to put that money somewhere where it's hard to get. The way my checking account is set up, I need 72 hours. Like, that's how I need to be. First thing I do is I pay myself first. I give my check from Milwaukee Black Media. Check comes. I don't know when it comes. It just arrives. I think I'm still stuck on the Good Karma Brands pay schedule. I don't know when we get paid here, Xavier. Money just shows up. I don't even know if it shows up on time. It happened. I get a bunch of emails like, oh, you just received your money. I was like, I did?
I get my money early.
Oh, you do? I don't even know what early is. I might get mine early too. I just don't know when it comes. It just arrives. First thing I do, because I know how much I do my mortgage in 2 parts, because you actually can pay your mortgage down faster if you split the payments. So I put got a little mortgage, put mortgage money away. Okay, half of my mortgage, and I got some other. I got the We Energies bills, and then I got the bills, and I pay off my credit cards every single month. Okay, and then what I got left, I'm putting that away. Now, hold on now. I leave a little bit for my pocket now, in case I want to go out and give me a little snack, give me a little meal. If I want to go step out and act kind of a fool out in these streets, I'll give myself a little bit of a budget for that. But once that money is gone, I'm staying in the house. Let's talk to someone who is our foremost expert on money. Hello, Bob.
Sherwin, how you doing? Listen, third party, you mixing me up. You'd have voted for Mandani if he was running for mayor.
Wait. Voted for who?
Third parties don't win.
Hang on a second, Bob. Voting for who? I would have voted for who now?
Mandani if he was in New York. And so, I don't know if he was third party or not, but you say I'm voting for third party. Well, third parties don't win, Sherwin.
Bob.
I don't
live in New York. That's like saying if you lived in Russia, you'd vote for Vladimir Putin. I'm not a New Yorker. Ain't no part of me a New Yorker. I don't know who I would have voted for if I lived in New York. My whole life would be different if I lived in New York. I don't know who I would have voted for. So my vote, I'm not just going to vote for. Okay, if I'm going to vote for someone who's going to win, I would have voted for Trump. I don't just vote for someone. My vote means more to me than just giving it to someone who is going to demonstrate that they're going to run over my community. I'm a damn fool if I do that. Because a lot of people voted for Trump because, I know that Trump is going to win. He's going to beat Kamala Harris. I'm just going to vote for him anyway. That's the stupidest logic I've ever heard of.
You wouldn't have voted for Trump. You wouldn't have voted for Trump.
I'm using your logic. You're saying vote for someone. If you think a third party can't win, well, then I guess they can't win. Then my vote sometimes acts as a protest because as a black person, I still need to be in the mode of protest every single day of my life. And sometimes I use my vote to protest. Sometimes I use my voice. Sometimes I use my money. Sometimes I use my feet. I have a bunch of tools in my arsenal, and I will dispatch them and deploy them and go on offense whenever I see fit.
All right, Sherwin, you're depressing me. Third party who can't win, and I'm going to be voting for somebody that can't win.
Bob, stop getting your political sentiments from me. You have your own whole life that you live. You have your own circumstances. You need to vote for someone that best serves your needs. Please stop listening to me and thinking you got to vote how I vote. Don't do that. You're your own independent man. vote
I
in
vote
interest.
for who you voting for governor. Now, don't care. I vote for you. Who you gonna vote for in governor? That's just the way it is, And you gonna vote for a third party that can't win all for it. You probably put your name down there. Talk to you later, sir.
Y'all don't listen to me when I did an interview with Don Cheadle because he was a surrogate for Kamala Harris, and it was real weird because I had these questions that I was asking him on why he was supporting Kamala. Because when we do those interviews with celebrities and surrogates, it's the same. So, why are you supporting her? Don Cheadle said, "Don't listen to me." He's like, "I'm just a dumb celebrity. Don't listen to what I have to say." And that actually stuck with me. I'm thinking to myself, sir, the only reason why I'm interviewing you is because you are on a list of celebrity surrogates for Kamala Harris. At the same time, he's saying that we shouldn't listen to him, but I got it. We all have our own unique circumstances, and sometimes our circumstances are only known to us. So you have to make a personal decision, a moral decision, even of how you're going to cast your vote, because the black vote, unlike any other, is covered in blood. They are trying to manipulate it. They are trying to discount it. They are trying to discredit it. They are trying to dilute it. My vote is different than Johnny Hughes Smith, who grew up in Whitefish Bay, whose parents are Jewish. Their vote is different. They might be voting to protect, to conserve what they have. I might be voting to get something or to show disdain for a system that is showing disdain for us. My vote is very complicated, and people want to minimize it because it's a very simple act. It's not all that difficult going and you get the ballot and you read the ballot and you go in a little booth and you do with the little circle. And people think that, that's just very simple. It's simple in execution, but in theory, it's hundreds of years of struggle, of arrests, of beatings, of blood, of hospital bills, of people being deformed and disfigured because they went and they fought and they marched. And that weighs very, very heavy on me, so I don't take that for granted. Take a break, come back, continue our happy, smiley conversation. And if you want to join in, you can text us at 833-212-1017, 833-212-1017, or you can participate in the YouTube chit chat. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Milwaukee business owners, this is your moment. Every Friday at 8 a.m., call in to 101.7 The Truth for What the Business Is. Tell us what your business is, where you're located, and one thing you've learned along the way. What the Business is powered by We Energies, delivering the energy that powers local business. Fridays at 8 a.m. on 101.7 The Truth. Fridays at 8 a.m. on 101.7 The Truth.
For 75 years, the Muscular Dystrophy Association's voices have thundered through the halls of Congress.
For 75 years, we've willed the impossible into existence.
For 75 years, the MDA community has pushed the science,
shifted the narrative, and established the field of neuromuscular medicine.
And until that day, when this is all a thing of the past,
you couldn't stop us if you tried.
Join us and celebrate 75 years of breakthroughs at MDA75.org.
For 75 years, the Muscular Dystrophy Association's voices have thundered through the halls of Congress.
For 75 years, we've willed the impossible into existence.
For 75 years, the MDA community has pushed the science,
shifted the narrative,
and established the field of neuromuscular medicine.
And until that day, when this is all a thing of the past,
you couldn't stop us if you tried.
Join us and celebrate 75 years of breakthroughs at MDA75.org.
I'm Chris Jakovic. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is "My job is people, everyone is my business." But unfortunately in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jakovic, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide. My service never stops.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
Are you looking for a place to shop that offers a fair market price? Or how about a place that is clean with a friendly atmosphere, has been recently remodeled? You need to visit Century Food Store on 92nd and Lisbon Avenue. They offer a wide variety of grocery items, meats, and fresh vegetables at a fair market price. And don't forget the hot food section, which offers soul food, Indian, and Mexican foods. This week, buy boneless New York strip steak for $14.99 a pound. Sweet corn 5 for $2.50. Essential everyday dressing for $1.79. Essential everyday chunk or shredded cheese 2 for $4. So what you waiting for? You can also order groceries through DoorDash, Uber Eats, and Instacart, or stop by Century Foods at 92nd and Lisbon Avenue today.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Let's read some YouTube comments till the end of the hour, shall we? There's some doozies in here. All right. Jasmine Gooden says, we got a couple of Jasmines. Got a Jasmine West. You got a Jasmine Gooden. Jasmine Gooden has been very active and very engaged in the conversations about Midtown. It's very symbolic is what it is. And so people are accusing me of being in favor of the, quote, AI data center. First of all, you're an idiot because it's not an AI data center. It's amazing how the talking points of another outside group can impact people's actual understanding of the facts. Like it's a beautiful thing because it helps me understand how Trump got elected and reelected. You can change facts. If you say something enough times, it can be like fundamentally inaccurate and incorrect, but people will still believe it. Like that's an incredible human phenomenon. If you repeat a lie enough times. In fact, if we lie to ourselves enough, it'll change our own reality and perception of things, which is just, it better helps me understand politics. Jasmine Gooden says, I'm literally disappointed in the Midtown development. Honestly, if it isn't going to generate revenue of some sorts, it'll end up being a money pit on the community and their taxes. 100%. The people that live in that area are going to have to subsidize a library. Here's what's crazy. They didn't ask for a library, but you're getting one anyway. Affordable housing? Okay, fair enough. We need more housing units in the city because we need something or someone to compete with Barada because y'all don't like living in his properties, but you're going to subsidize that too. At the same time, one of the businesses or developments that will be bringing and generating profit that can be taxed, like state income taxes would be paid, property taxes would be paid, that is being removed from the development. So this is just another taxpayer-funded subsidy of land use. Could you imagine if we just built a bunch of affordable housing where the Deer District is? Instead of collecting the revenue that we're getting from the Milwaukee Bucks and all the other acts and entertainment that go into that area. Think about that. It generates probably tens of millions of dollars a year because it's supposed to. Oh, let's just make it all affordable housing. And of course we need housing, but affordable housing that's subsidized by the taxpayers does not add to our taxpayer roll. So what's going to happen is there's going to be another referendum. And then they're going to threaten us. Oh, if you don't vote for this referendum, we're going to lose even more police. I do want to talk about the fact that we are short about 170 uniformed officers in the city of Milwaukee and 30 detectives. So we are at a disadvantage. But when we talk about that story at some point during our second hour, don't think that that's the reason why you're having all of this crime. 170 more cops and 30 more detectives is not going to stop the bad ingredients that are causing mayhem and chaos. They have no ownership of anything, so they'll go anywhere in the city and destroy it. It's also why people have that question of why, during riots and protests, are you destroying your own community? Why are you burning up your own buildings? Because they don't own those buildings. During a riot or a protest, people don't burn down their own house. They burn down things that are taking up space in the community in which they live, in which they have zero connection to and zero ownership of. And so these young people are doing the exact same thing. I call it social vandalism. They're just going out and destroying stuff. If you want to go out and have a good time at Summerfest, they're going to ruin it because they don't care. Jasmine Gooden also says, granted, the space is 160,000 square feet, but that recirculating water system is worth a bunch of money since he didn't have to develop it. Definitely worth the $5.3 million. And so somebody named Nelson is commenting saying, oh, Sherwin, you're in support of it. No, I support black people. And people that don't support black people don't know what that looks like. There needs to be something generating tax revenue in our community, because all we do is ask for additional stuff. We need this program and we need this, which is fine. But if we don't have a way to pay for it, you literally get nothing. Now, also keep in mind what you're competing against. You're competing against colonizers and gentrifiers that want property in the black community to be cheap so they can come and buy it. They don't want development in the black community. They literally think that we deserve nothing. And for people that think this is an AI data center, like, you're insane. There's not enough infrastructure. First of all, our water mains in that area are 120 years old. They couldn't support the AI data center's water needs. That's number one. There's not enough standing fresh water to be used. The Computer Research Center uses 5 gallons of water a month. I use 5 gallons of water this morning. Sometimes I just turn on a faucet and walk away. On average, a human being uses 40 gallons of water a day. So basically, y'all are just walking data centers. Linda says, I noticed that trend as well. Storage facilities in our community is huge. What's inside? What's the profit? So if you get evicted or if you're moving a lot, you got to find a place to put your stuff, your furniture, and your household items until you find a new place to live. I think that has a lot to do with it, because a lot of folks are transient. They might be on a month-to-month lease, or I know that I moved myself into a storage facility until everything was finalized with the house that I bought. So I did need temporary storage. Or when I was moving apartments, there might be a lag time from when I leave one apartment to when I go to another one. I think there's a whole bunch of that. And sometimes people live in them storage facilities too. There was a story that came out maybe earlier this year, last year. It was like a family of 6. And the mom and the dad, it was a sad story because the mom and the dad, they had to go to work. They were homeless. And their kids were in the storage facility during the day. And then both parents got charged with felonies. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be back for hour 2.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Wherever there's a need in our communities, there's a united way. Improving lives so everyone can thrive. Where more people can gain access to healthcare and nutritious food for their tables. Where more community members can benefit from financial education and get connected to local resources for housing support. And where children are given more chances to reach their full potential. Community is where we find our strength and where we share our hope. United is the way. Visit unitedway.org.
Mommy, can I sit in the front seat just this one time? Please, please, please.
No, not yet.
But why?
Because I love you, and you're just not ready yet. Now, get in the back so I can get you in your car seat, please.
Putting your kids in the right seat for their age and size is an act of love. Check that your kids are in the right seat at NHTSA.gov/the right seat. Love protects. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
When I met both of them, it was like my missing pieces were found. Like it was just like an instant, these are my kids. If you're considering adopting a teen, just do it. Kids need families. I don't care the age, everybody deserves a family.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. A message brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
For 75 years, the Muscular Dystrophy Association's voices have thundered through the halls of Congress.
For 75 years, we've willed the impossible into existence.
For 75 years, the MDA community has pushed the science,
shifted the narrative,
and established the field of neuromuscular medicine.
And until that day, when this is all a thing of the past,
you couldn't stop us if you tried.
Join us and celebrate 75 years of breakthroughs at MDA75.org.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we know dads, the ones who know how to build it all, grill it all, and fix it all while still taking the time to share it all. So show them how much you care with great Father's Day gifts for one-of-a-kind dads, like men's work and sport short-sleeve plaid shirts, just $19.99. And new at Blaine's, save $50 on the Milwaukee M18 leaf blower when you buy a qualifying Milwaukee line trimmer. Find value on the gift's hill value. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
You're listening to Milwaukee Black Talk on 1017 FM.
The Truth.
In 1510 AM. W269DL. Milwaukee. A Milwaukee Black media company.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
I told you we should ride with the windows open. How you gon' roll if you scared of Doja? Kept you on the side, tried to keep it kosher. Play on, play on.
Welcome to hour 2 of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. Talking about all these different things that came to a head at Midtown, in the middle of the town, the Midtown Computer Research Center, and the former Walmart, and the private developer that was a sucker. Sorry, Trent, if you're listening, but you got played, buddy. That's unfortunate. He spent $3.5 million on what? Now, here's where I think he gets his lick back, and he should, because in him wanting to have a computer research facility, and can I just explain this one more time, because people still are not understanding it. Mr. Gerald Jones, and may he rest in peace, he said something to me 15 years ago. He said, Sherwin, you got to repeat yourself incessantly and hope that people get it. Oh, I understand now, Mr. Jones. May you rest in peace. When you do a transaction, go buy something from a store, purchase something on Amazon, use your credit card, use your debit card. There's a record of that. You go to the doctor, there are records of your doctor visits and your whole health history, right? Everything we do, is a transaction associated with it. Buying food, whatever. Companies and businesses are not storing every single transaction in a filing cabinet. It's stored digitally on a computer. And some businesses conduct so many transactions that they literally don't have enough room on site. Like Walmart doesn't have enough room on site to store all of the transactions. Walmart produces something like 3 miles of register tape every second. Every single one of those transactions is logged. In fact, a Walmart in Milwaukee that sells a candle, that is noted at the Walmart distribution center, and they have another candle that they'll put on a truck and they'll have it shipped at the next shipment day to that Walmart. That is how specific it is. Logistics is major. All the transportation, all of the trucks from all of the ports that deliver all of our goods, all of our groceries, all of our fruits and our vegetables that come from different areas, all of that stuff is logged digitally, and computers have to store that information. Nobody is writing down on a piece of paper, oh, we need apples and oranges and potatoes distributed to Milwaukee, Chicago, and Detroit. Let me write all the trucks down shipping the produce. It's all done digitally, and the computers that store that transaction information is what Trent Overhue was trying to have. He was going to house these facilities, or house a facility that stores our transactions. I mean, I suppose you could call it a data center, but then so is your smartphone. That's a data center too. In fact, you use more water than what would have been used at the site. But there was another group that came in and displayed for the world how ignorant some members of the African American community are. Because they came in and said, no, this is an AI data center. No, it's not. It's not big enough. The entire Walmart facility, including the 4 acres of parking lot, still isn't big enough for an AI data center. There's 31 such computer storage facilities all throughout the city, and I bet you didn't even know that they existed. You know who has the biggest one? Potawatomi, because they store all of their transactions off-site as well. So it's not uncommon. But don't you find it weird and unusual that this particular development at this particular time attracted the attention from the Party for Socialism and Liberation? Don't you find that very unusual? Because they are organizing for their political candidate. So whenever we have campaigns going on, I call it silly season, because people lose their whole ever-loving minds. And we're an easily duped community. Just look at the number of black people that voted for Trump. Trump is devouring our history and pooping it out. He tried to get the African American Museum of History closed. He wanted African American exhibits at the Smithsonian removed. And I know he's mad that the Obama Presidential Library costs $850 million. Ooh, he going to be mad because Trump ain't going to be able to raise that kind of money. Well, what Trump will probably do is get a foreign national to pay for it. We are easily fooled, and not enough of us understand money and investing and development because we don't elect our officials to be experts on development. We want our elected officials to provide as many social services to a community as possible. And I don't necessarily agree with that because there's no encouragement or no incentive to get off of poverty. We have a city that is so overwhelmed with nonprofits, that's eating at our tax revenue as well. A third of the land in Milwaukee, I want you to think about this. A third of our land, so that's probably 32 square miles of the city of Milwaukee's 96 square miles, generates no property tax revenue because it's government buildings, it's schools, it's churches, and it's nonprofit organizations dedicated to anti-poverty programs. So 30% of the city generates no revenue whatsoever. So when we get opportunities for private developers to come in and actually generate revenue, we have to take those very seriously. Now, here's the thing. You're not always going to like what the development is, but think in the future of what that development could potentially bring, and it could be a catalyst for something else. I didn't like the food that my mama made every single night for dinner, but I knew eventually I'm going to get some pizza, get some McDonald's, or I'm going to get my absolute favorite meatloaf. Boy, I love a meatloaf. I don't know if I've ever met a meatloaf I didn't like. I once had a meatloaf. Let me tell you about this meatloaf I had. You guys want to talk about I just want to take a little side note because I love meat and loaf, apparently. Put them together, I'm a happy camper. Sometimes y'all put ketchup on the top of your meatloaf. I'm cool with it. Sometimes y'all put barbecue sauce on the top of your meatloaf. I'm a fan. Sometimes you just have your meatloaf butt naked on the top. It's topless meatloaf. There's no barbecue sauce or no ketchup. I like topless meatloaf. Nom, 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 nom. I'll eat that meatloaf with no top on it. So my high school girlfriend's mother, she revolutionized the making of the meatloaf. Let me tell you what she did. I watched her make it. Watching her make that meatloaf was like watching an erotic film. It was sensual. The way she handled the meat. No, the way it went through her fingers. Let me tell you how she made the meatloaf. So you got your meatloaf pan. Okay, it's a pan made for meatloaf. That's why meatloaf has the shape of a loaf. So she mixed all the ingredients. You got to put your breadcrumbs in there. You got to put your onions in there, green onions and celery and what. I don't know what you put in your meatloaf. Put whatever you want in your meatloaf. Okay, a little bit of essence, a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, onion powder, garlic powder. Put all this stuff in a meatloaf, okay? And she would lay she'd cover the bottom of the pan with the first layer of the meat. And guess what she put on top of that first layer at the bottom of the pan? Cheese. Y'all don't hear me. Listen to me, I'm not done. And then she put another layer of meat to cover up the cheese. And she put another layer of cheese. And she would stack that whole meat, cheese, meat, cheese, meat, cheese, meat, cheese, meat, cheese, meat, cheese. And when she baked it and put it in the oven, damn it. Oh. Do we have any paper towels in here? I might have an accident on myself. Thank you, Xavier. I just love a good meatloaf. It's one of my favorite things to eat. And you gotta have peas, just some mashed potatoes. Like that's what I want to eat meatloaf. Can't find a woman that can make a meatloaf to save her life. I don't even think modern women even know where to buy a damn meatloaf from. This is why I miss Boston Market. You guys remember Boston Market? The one over by Bayshore is still there. Empty. It'll fool you, too, because the sign is still up. I was like, oh, Boston Market. Oh, it's not open anymore. Thank you guys for listening to my meatloaf story. I want to get into this police officer shortage. It's so ridiculous. Because now everybody's saying, well, more people should be a cop. Nobody wants to be a police officer in this city. No one. And half of the cops that are there right now are probably counting the days until they can retire. Or they're looking at ways they can get duty disability. We oftentimes will suggest what we need. Now, I got to keep in mind, I am a conveyor of information. I demystify things. I explain stuff. I'll talk about our deficiencies, and I'll often, if I can, suggest a policy solution. But I'm not one of those people saying, well, we need more people to be police officers. I'm not going to suggest that unless I'm willing to be a police officer myself, and I am not, because I would be a terrible cop. I would pull over everyone. I would get in trouble a lot because I would just see a person like, yeah, I think they got dope in the car. I would search everyone. Officer Hughes, you really haven't been on patrol much. Yeah, I know, because I'm pulling over everybody. I would just do checkpoints. Hey, who are you? Get out of the car. And I don't want to shoot anybody, but you got to be careful when people reach, because you don't know. They might be reaching for their gun. But Officer Hughes, I'm reaching for my license because you told me to. Shut up! Freeze! Get on the ground! I don't want to be a cop. I can't be a cop. I got some details on what it takes to be a police officer in the city of Milwaukee. I know the requirements differ. I talked about this on a previous show, but I want to go over it again for the people that are saying, oh, well, we're short 200 officers. Well, more people should want to be cops. Nobody wants to be a cop. You know what else people don't want to do? They don't want to teach your kids. We got a teacher shortage. Teachers hate your kids. I don't know if you know that. A teacher that's been in the classroom for, say, 35, 40 years, which is uncommon because back in the day, I swear some of my teachers were in their 80s. Teachers used to teach forever. Now, 25 and they're done. These kids are horrible. They're addicted to their screens. You know what else these teachers are saying? Because I follow a lot of teachers on social media. The kids, they have no motivation to learn. Like they're not even curious. They're not even inquisitive. They don't want to learn. They just want to sit there and they want everything done for them. They want to be spoon-fed everything. They just will sit there. And even when you take their devices away, like listen to how teachers describe the glazed over look the kids have on their faces. Like the teachers are up there teaching the lesson plan. It's going to be a quiz on Friday. And the kids are just sitting there with their eyes wide open and their mouth open. Like there's just nothing going on between their ears. It is sad. We might need AI. We might need computers to think on our behalf. And there's also very little critical thinking. If I needed help with something, and it was a task that might have been complex and may have been complicated. I'm talking about as a little kid. Hey, Dad, can you help me with this? No, figure it out. No, I'm not going to help you with that. You can do it on your own. But figure it out. And guess what? I figured. I might have gotten frustrated. I might have been a little bit upset, but I figured it out. You know what parents do now? Is if a child is even struggling a little bit, the parent will help them. These parents don't even tell their kids no. No was my parents' favorite word. My parents would tell me no if I got a certain look on my face, like I looked like I was about to ask for something in unison. No, we don't like how you looking at us. You about to ask for something. No. Hey, Mom and Dad. No. Hey, Mom and Dad, can I go over to the white people's? No! Throwing kids to the wolves every now and again is actually good for them because it's this thing called character development. And some people have none. And this is a weird phenomenon that's going on, and I can make this about gender, but I don't want to make it about gender because y'all might get mad at me. It's amazing how someone will see a beautiful woman, whether it be makeup or hair extensions or filters on her photographs she posts on social media, like, oh my God, she's so beautiful. Why is she single? Because her personality is terrible. That's why. Because she's a dunce. That's why. Because she's not a critical thinker. She can't figure out her own problems. She doesn't know how to pay her bills. She doesn't know how to be responsible or take accountability. It doesn't matter how beautiful she is. I'm going to tell you what, I have never met a woman so beautiful that can suffice for dumb. That's why I give it to the booger wolves. Them booger wolves will help you, like, put in a new ceiling fan, install a new garage door, help you fix the plumbing, install a water heater, because they have to. Because they can't rely on their looks. Hey, Sherwin, what you say you need? Yeah, I need to replace my circuit breaker panel box in my basement. Hold on, I'll be right back. I'm finna go get the work truck. She comes over with a maintenance truck. Booger Wolf Maintenance, 414-555-5552. You broke it, I'll fix it. Booger Wolf Maintenance. I'll take a woman like that. And she can make a meatloaf. Sherwin, I was listening to the show, and I heard that you like meatloaf. I do. Well, guess what? What is that, Miss Wolf? I happen to have a meatloaf in my pocket right now. You do? Oh, I'm going to get canceled. Or what is this here? Hartford residents push back on solar panel project proposed near Highway 83. One Energy Renewables has proposed leasing farmland in the town of Hartford to build a solar panel project, but most neighbors want the plan commission to reject it. And here's the difference between this and what is happening in Midtown. These are the actual residents of Hartford. There's no outside group coming in and speaking on their behalf. And the other story that I have talking about the Midtown Center, the person that's quoted in the article speaking on behalf of the community is an organizer for the Party for Socialism and Liberation that lives on Astor Street. She lives on the damn east side, but she's speaking on behalf of the residents in the 2nd District. I don't know why y'all ain't more mad. We have become second-class citizens overnight. Trump is helping, but also the left is helping too. And I don't need to remind you about the Wisconsin State Supreme Court that's chock full of liberals that voted unanimously to declare minority scholarships unconstitutional. Well, why would they do that, you're wondering? Because it discriminates against white people. African Americans' trajectory and pathway to college and why it has been made so difficult is because we were discriminated against. And sometimes you have to have remedies. The remedy is, okay, if you are a first-generation college student, you come from a disadvantaged background, your public school was not exactly high-performing, but you did very, very well, and you may not have the money to pay for college, we're going to offer scholarships to you specifically because your pathway to college has been more trying than most. White people are saying that's not fair, including white people who have never had any obstacles or barriers when it comes to their education. You got some white kids that are graduating already with a semester of college credits who don't have an issue paying for college. Their parents have these 529 education funds. Some of these white folks put money, and I'm not faulting the white folks for doing this, like black people need to do it too. A 529B is an investment program where you put money away, a little bit of money every single year, and it's a tax write-off. And by the time your child turns 18, that is 18 years of investing. This child's college is literally paid for, and they got nest egg money to buy a house, right? Someone like that says black people getting minority scholarships is unfair to them. And the state Supreme Court, which is full of liberals, said, we agree. In America, white people can feel no level of discomfort or competition because for them it feels like oppression. Does that make sense to you? They don't even want to be moderately inconvenienced by our progress. And one of the goals is, and again, I don't fault them for this because some black people are emulating the exact same thing, for them to make enough money so that they can move far enough away from and distance themselves from the gains that we made in the civil rights movement. Meaning being able to own a house, being able to send our kids to whatever school that we want to. They have literally taken themselves as far away from our accomplishments and our gains as possible, including re-electing Donald Trump. Because you blacks are actually doing really well considering the circumstances and our shortened life expectancy. Well, we have to take some of these DEI programs away because the blacks are catching up. And this is not a Republican thing. And we have to think that because someone is a Democrat or a liberal, that they like black people. That's counterintuitive. Just because I like peanut butter doesn't also mean I like jelly. Just because I may vote for Democrats does not mean that I like all of the people that also may vote for Democrats. Black folks, I'll give you an example. You're a Democrat because you believe or think that the Democrats will at least address your issues. They'll talk about the problems. They'll offer some solutions to what the social issues are that may harm black people. But queer transgender people also vote for Democrats as well. And black people don't necessarily agree with them unless you're a queer transgender black person, which there are 7 or 8 of them. They're out here. They don't get treated very fairly because, we had a serial killer going around killing trans black women. At what point do you disclose You know what I'm saying? If you're a trans lady, do you have to disclose? Xavier, you put your headphones on like you ready to jump in. Would you date a trans woman?
No, I like cisgendered women.
Well, that goes against your democratic socialist
No.
proclivities, no?
No, that's a complete false. That's a complete farce.
Some of them would say you're transphobic. I've been called transphobic because I would want to date a transgender woman.
I mean, some people might say that, but I don't think that's a large majority. I think you're just creating a monster.
No, I'm just
There is a
commenting on
monster, though.
preference. Here's what I would do with a trans woman. We can go hoop.
Yeah, go shake their hand. You know, you can.
No, I'm
you
gonna
can
play basketball
yeah.
with them.
Yeah, exactly. Could play basketball.
I'll go
Get a drink.
skateboarding with her.
Play some video games.
Sure.
I mean, they're just like normal people. They might look a little funny, but
you can't say they look funny.
Well, normal people look funny as well.
All right.
I'm just saying, you know, I treat them like a normal person, but no, I'm not sexually attracted to a trans woman. Only cis women.
What if you didn't know? Because some of them, you got to do a double take. Like on initial inspection, you got to be like, "Oh snap, they did a good job with you." And also, alcohol can kind of cloud.
I don't know. I think I have a pretty good trans DAR. You know, it's only so much you can do that with a surgery that can change. You know, I've seen some of the Brazilian things that you're talking about, the women in Brazil and stuff like that. You know, yeah, you just got to be careful. I mean, but I think you would know by the, you know, if you're about to get down to that, you know, and you take down the pants and you see, you know, something bigger than yours.
Well, I'm talking about post-op. So I watched Taxi Cab Confessions, and this is one back when it was on HBO many, many years ago. And you guys are familiar with the show where people get in these taxis in New York City and they're being recorded. So this transgender woman said that her surgery is so good, her gynecologist can't tell that she used to be a man.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. And I'm no gynecologist.
Have you ever done any research of what the post-op looks like?
Do you think I have?
Well, you should.
No, I should not.
You would, but you will be able to tell. Trust me.
I'm not going to trust.
Sometimes you got to do, a little scientific research.
No, you don't. Not I said the fly. Can I take a commercial break? Because this is getting weird.
No, you got about 4 more minutes.
Wait, I just came back at 15 after?
Yep.
Damn.
Why, you feeling uncomfortable? You're the one that brought the subject up.
We need more police officers in the city of Milwaukee. Milwaukee police were stretched thin over the 4th of July holiday weekend as fights, injuries, and an officer-involved shooting broke out across multiple entertainment districts all on the same night. The Milwaukee Police Department is roughly 200 officers short, according to the union that represents MPD. A staffing gap that's complicated efforts to cover festivals and entertainment districts simultaneously. Fights broke out at the America 250 celebration at Summerfest. A firework blast knocked an officer to the ground, injuring her, and the moment was caught on camera. On Water Street, an officer was struck by a vehicle, leading to an officer-involved shooting. All of it unfolded late Saturday night and into early Sunday morning. Alex Ayala, president of the Milwaukee Police Association, said patrol officers were pulled from every district across the city this 4th of July weekend to help cover downtown entertainment districts, with officers working overtime, extending shifts on the holiday, and putting themselves in harm's way. Quote, I mean, there's not enough officers out there. We're about 170 officers short and about 30 detectives, so MPD is about 200 officers short total, Ayala said. I wish the city would put in more effort to get more officers in the recruit classes, Ayala went on to say. They are prioritizing, I believe, these are his words, not mine, other things instead of the safety and the staffing of everyone in the city of Milwaukee by having a fully staffed police department. I think there's only so much that you can do, because who wants to be a cop in this day and age? And the people that want to be police officers don't have to be convinced. Now, since I have been on the air throughout the years, MPD had more serious outreach and recruitment efforts. So when I was at WNOV in the early years, I would routinely interview Milwaukee police officers that were actively engaged in recruiting people from Milwaukee to want to join the force. And there was even officers, I don't know if it was the League of Martin that offered it, like because you got to pass a test, a written test. You got to know some stuff. You got to have some stuff between your ears. They even had tutors that would help black men in particular pass the written tests in order to complete the academy. It was a very serious recruiting effort. I will give former police chief Ed Flynn credit, and maybe it was under Nan Haggerty as well, she sued the city. Y'all know that? So Ann Haggerty I think she was the first lady police chief, who was our first lady sheriff? Is that Dr. Danita Ball? Well, maybe. Yeah, I think so. So Nan Haggerty was the first lady police chief, right? She didn't last very long, so she quit or got fired or retired or whatever the case may be. So then she left the chief position, and then after her, we got a fella by the name of Ed Flynn. Ed Flynn was a hoe. Ed Flynn used to hump all sorts of women. But cops, I don't know if y'all know this about cops. Cops drink a lot and they hump a lot. A lot. And it's not their wives. They hump many people. Cops they're real PTSD. They do all sorts of, it's a tough job. I'm not accusing them of necessarily being immoral, because, I mean, if I had to wonder if I was going to die every single time I went to work, I'd want to hump too, right? Got to get the poison out. Got to relax. Got to de-stress. They also are big domestic violence offenders, because I am familiar with a group of lawyers that between the union will oftentimes get police officers lawyers when they have domestic situations, but you never hear about it in the news because their lawyers are that good. Oh, these cops, they come home from a shift, or maybe they don't go home. They go to a bar, maybe go to a third shift bar, have them some drinks. They had a real stressful night here in Milwaukee policing these mean streets, and they come home to a nagging wife. You didn't cut the grass, take out the garbage. You got to help me with the laundry and the kids. You got to take the kids to daycare, and you got, shut up, woman. No, I'm not going to shut up. And then guess what? She calls the police, and guess who comes? His colleagues. That never ends well. No, there was a situation where, was it Ladmiral Cates? Was he the guy that killed his wife? No, it was somebody. He went to prison for something else. But there was a police, both him and his girlfriend, they lived on the Northwest side. I'll never forget the story. There was like a dozen calls for service because he used to beat his woman up, and he killed her. And everybody knew what was happening. Oh, here's another one that they do. And this one, there's somebody that just got in trouble because he used police resources to spy on a woman. Oh, cops are huge stalkers. A married, and I hate to be putting the cops' business out there, but we got to know who's protecting us. A cop will have a whole wife and a whole family, but will fall in love with another woman. Common story. That cop will then harass. Let's say this woman, his other woman, his mistress, has a boyfriend. The cop will harass the boyfriend, pull over the boyfriend, and spy on the woman. Oh, it's some weird stories. Talk to a retired police officer on what they've seen in the course of their career. It'll blow your mind. And also, it'll make you not want to be a cop, because 60% of the calls that they go on are domestic violence related, and police officers will tell you unequivocally those are the most dangerous calls, because a domestic violence situation, the person who is the primary offender will kill anybody. Anybody. Oh, it's really bad. But we need more police officers in the city of Milwaukee. I think I'm too old, right? I don't know if I would make it through the academy. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a break. When I come back, I'm going to give you the rest of the details about this officer shortage. Be clear, even if we were fully staffed, I don't think that it would have the reduction on crime that you think. And also, if we don't have a certain number of police officers, we have a deadline. If we don't have at least 1,650 officers, it might be a little bit higher than that, then we're going to lose 10% of our shared revenue. So the city of Milwaukee will literally be bankrupt unless we figure out how we're going to meet our minimum requirements per Act 12 to hire a certain number of police officers. But every story that we read in the newspaper and everything we see on the nightly news leads people to want to take another career path. I wouldn't want to police these streets. No way. I would be. And first of all, I wouldn't drive a squad car. Because I'd be like, look, if you want me to be a cop, because you got to make some compromise, because we're short officers and they got to make some concessions. I'll be like, look, I'll be a cop in Milwaukee, but I do not want to drive a squad car because I want to drive a Tesla. And they're going to see me coming. Oh, no. It's Officer Sherwin in his red Tesla playing some 90s hip-hop. And I get out the Tesla. Hey, what's going on over here? Hey, what do you got? Come here. Let me talk to you for a second. You got some ID on you? Come here. You got any weapons, any guns on? Anything I should be worried about? Let me pat you down. Come here. Don't you. Have a whole bunch of, I'd arrest everybody on the block. Grandmothers, babies. Now, I don't have a car seat. Just put the baby in the back. Just let the baby roll around. No, that baby looks like it's selling dope. It's a dope-selling baby. Get a couple felony charges on this baby. But, sir, my baby was born prematurely. They're going to grow up to be a thug. Exactly. That's why I should not be a police officer, because everybody is a suspect. And if I'm walking down the street, because I got my beat, I'm walking my beat, and if somebody even looks at me, I'm wearing a full police uniform. I got my taser and my gun. I got extra bullets. I got a ham sandwich or whatever the cops have. And I'm walking down the street, and if somebody looks at me, hey, come here. Why'd you look at me? You got dope on you? Is that why you looked at me? Because you have something illegal on you? Come here, spread them. But Sherwin, we went to high school together. Screw you. Go Brown Deer Falcons, but spread them. Let me see what you got. Empty your pockets. How much? Why do you have so much money? But Officer Hughes, I only have $9. Now you have $2. Think about it. If you're a cop, you could just steal people's money. What are you gonna do? Call the police and have Officer Xavier show up?
What about your body cam?
Uh-oh. It doesn't work. It fell off. Uh-oh.
You're going to jail.
No, I ain't. Bet you I'm not. When's the last time you heard of a cop going to prison?
Derek
There was
Chauvin?
one that he was stalking his girlfriend because he was using police resources to. That's why they don't go to jail like that. You know what you got to do to be a cop that goes to jail? You got to murder a lot. You got to make it. You got to murder. Like you got to shoot somebody in a faraway building or something. You know, I don't know what you got to do to get convicted. You got to be Derek Chauvin. You got to murder in front of 1 billion people, and then they're like, should we pardon him?
Let's ask Dr. Ken.
Let's not. I asked Dr. Ken if he ever shot somebody. I think he answered it too. I don't think he ever shot anybody. You'd think that Dr. Ken would pull that service weapon just when the wind blows. He probably was a good cop. I know that when we went to, because we covered the first Republican debate of this cycle, so it must have been the fall of 2023. There was a real heavy police presence because all the Republican candidates showed up. Oh, except for Trump. And I remember walking from our studios here at the 3rd Street Market Hall to the Fiserv Forum where the debate was held. Every single cop that we passed knew Dr. Ken. Hey, Doc. Hey, how you doing, Officer Smith? Good to see you, because he trained a lot of these cops. Maybe you have Dr. Ken to blame. He trained a bunch of police officers. But yeah, they all knew him, and they all, shook his hand and gave him hugs and stuff. Hey, he's a very popular fella. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. I'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com.
The performing arts do more than entertain. They bring the community together. From live performances and arts education to free community events, UPATH helps support the organizations that keep southeastern Wisconsin vibrant. But it only happens because of people like you. Every gift helps keep the arts accessible and inspiring for the entire community. Join thousands of supporters and give today at upaf.org. UPATH. One gift, regional impact.
I always had to be so good, no one could ignore me. Carve my path with data and drive. But some people only see who I am on paper. The paper ceiling, the limitations from degree screens to stereotypes that are holding back over 70 million stars. Workers skilled through alternative routes, rather than a bachelor's degree. It's time for skills to speak for themselves. Find resources for breaking through barriers at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
I'm Chris Jakimick. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is my job is people, everyone is my business. But unfortunately in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jakimick, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide. My service never stops.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
And here's Heather with the weather.
Well, it's beautiful out there, sunny and 75, almost a little chilly in the shade. Now, let's get a read on the inside of your car. It is hot. You've only been parked a short time and it's already 99 degrees in there. Let's not leave children in the back seat while running errands. It only takes a few minutes for their body temperatures to rise, and that could be fatal.
Cars get hot, fast, and can be deadly. Never leave a child in a car. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, honey bear.
'Cause remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
When a warrior faces adversity, he fights through it. He finds a way. Freedom isn't free. Rolling strong. Belief. Believe you can, and you will.
Wheelchairs for Warriors provides mobility solutions to veterans and first responders injured in the line of duty. Join the mission and visit wheelchairsforwarriors.org.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Bitch, ça fait très très longtemps que j'y pense à comment se mettre bien, moi j'ai pas ton élan. N'écoute jamais les hontis, c'est que Jacques n'ont pas vu la vie au travers de ton monde.
Looking for a school where scholars thrive, teachers believe, and excellence is the expectation? Milwaukee College Prep is still enrolling scholars for grades K through 8 for the upcoming school year. With 4 high-performing campuses and award-winning educators and a proven track record for academic success, MCP is helping more than 2,000 Milwaukee scholars build brighter futures every day. Apply today at MilwaukeeCollegePrep.com or call 414-264-6000. Milwaukee College Prep, excellence by design, futures without limits. So you guys need to tell your kids to be police officers because we're short. So before you tell them, I want to let you and, of course, them know what the requirements are to be a police officer in the city of Milwaukee. Also, have you all heard as a possible solution when a person gets in trouble, they should be sent to the military? Have you guys heard that before? Oh, if they're out here causing mayhem and chaos, send them to the military. That'll fix them. Do you think the military wants them? Honestly, you think the military wants people that have absolutely no structure and no discipline? Here's more important. They won't listen to structure and to discipline. They wouldn't make it. Well, the military is not a dumping ground. That's America's finest. The discipline you have, the physical endurance and stamina, you got to be in shape. 30% of these kids are fat. Oh, we'll just send them to the military. Military doesn't want fat people that can't read. We got to stop. That diminishes people's service. Oh, yeah, we'll just send them to the military. That'll teach them a lesson. No, they'll get kicked out. Current Milwaukee Police Department requirements, this is as of 2026. So we're short 200 officers, 170 uniformed officers, and 30 detectives. If you want to join the academy, or if someone you know wants to join the academy, here's what they got to be prepared to do. And it ain't easy. To be hired as a Milwaukee police officer, an applicant generally must be 18 years old. To apply, must be 21 by graduation from the academy. Be a U.S. citizen. possess a high school diploma or a GED, hold a valid driver's license, pass a written exam. I've already eliminated like 20% of the people already. Pass a physical readiness test, pass a background investigation, pass medical, psychological, and drug screening. That's 50% already eliminated. And then complete the Milwaukee Police Academy. Physical test requirements. Milwaukee Police Department's physical readiness test includes a 1.5-mile run, push-ups, sit-ups, and an obstacle/agility course. You have to run 1.5 miles in 13 minutes. You've got to do 20 to 30 push-ups, 20 to 35 sit-ups. How long will it take from when you sign up to when you are sworn in? Between 8 and 14 months. Application and testing takes 1 to 3 months. Background investigation can take 2 to 5 months. Medical and psychological screening can take 1 to 2 months. The police academy, another 6 months. Sworn in at academy graduation. What percentage of Milwaukee 18 to 30-year-olds would fail the physical test? Using CDC and Wisconsin health data, 45% of people between the ages of 18 and 30 would fail. So where are we going to get the cops from? We're going to have to get them from Waukesha. Let's talk to someone who I know is not a police officer. Hello, Lisa. How are you?
I'm fine, Sherwin. You know, if I had my leg, I would have no problem passing that test. Oh, my God. Are
You're
you
too
serious?
old, Lisa. You got to be young.
It don't matter. I could pass that test. You know, it's a lot of jobs now that are requiring these young kids to have physicals. You know, nowadays they're trying to pass a law that you have to be a certain weight to drive the trucks now.
Why is that? I thought truck drivers can be any weight. As long as you don't weigh more than a cargo.
Sherwin, trust you me. There's truck drivers. They're so big. I saw this guy with a humongous pizza. I was at the gas station. A humongous pizza, a big old box of, was it Popeyes or whatever chicken that was, and his leg was so big you could see the sore. Oh, my gosh, Sherwin, it was just so gross. But a lot of these drivers they're not healthy. You know, you're driving, you're sitting there for hours, you're doing so many miles a day, and you're not eating right. I can vouch for that. That's why I thought about, that's why I started my own business. But you have to be, you can't be eating all doggish and things like that because you're just unfit. They don't exercise. You're not doing nothing all day long. You're not moving around. You're just sitting in that spot, in that position for maybe 10 or 12 hours a day and just driving. How physical is that? How healthy is that? Yeah, but the same thing with running. Y'all say these cops, when somebody chase after them, they can't keep up these. No, they go on, forget it. You got to be some type of athlete to keep up with these kids when they do something wrong and they running. And these cops, they're just not ready yet. Ready yet. I just be like, just go on, baby. Just somebody catch you up there. But Sherwin, you gotta try my food. I'm gonna send you some jerk pasta pasta. I'm gonna send you my jerk pasta pasta. You know my business has started. You want no jerk pasta pasta?
No.
No oxtail pasta pasta.
What's in it?
You don't want mine, huh?
I don't know you like that. I can't eat everybody's food, Lisa.
Well, I can't either, sweetheart. That's the whole point. This is what grown folks eat.
How are you going to get it to me? How am I going to, if you make the jerk rasta pasta with the oxtails and the rasta and the pasta, how am I going to get it?
I'm going to bring it to you before I go to my next event. I'm going to deliver it to you. I just told you I'm going to deliver it to you. Well, I know I got to get it to either our first event, which I go to early, I'm going to drop it off, or I can have my delivery driver drop it off before you leave at noon, you and your coworkers. I can send up like 3 dishes. I can send one with the roux, with the cheese, or without the cheese.
Sounds good.
Hold on, Xavier. Wait a minute. You don't know what she going to do to our rasta pasta? She might have more rasta than pasta.
Oh, I don't mind.
No, baby. I have more meat than anything.
You put your foot in it, Lisa?
I have more meat. If it's jerk chicken, I put my jerk seasonings. I put jerk chicken. I put vegetables in there.
Oh.
If you order a surf, if I can get you a surf and turf, that's steak, lobster, crab legs, shrimp.
You know what the saying, you put your foot in it, that means you really threw down. I'm asking if
I really threw down.
You put your foot, okay.
I fell out.
All right.
I fell out.
All right.
So that's why, look, you better put your order in first. So, my next event is August 12th, I think 13th or 14th or 12th or 13th, 1 to 2.
How much do you sell a Rasta pasta? If I wanted to order a Rasta pasta, how much does it cost? How much a plate costs?
The jerk chicken costs $26.
Whoa!
And
$26?
Yeah. Look, I tell you this, I give you so much food you're going to eat the next day, and possibly depends on how greedy you is. That would take me about a week to eat.
Yeah, a week.
For me. So it would take you, Sherwin. It'll take you a day.
Hold on. You saying that I eat an amount of food in a day that you eat it in 7 days?
And you would eat in one serving. That's why I'm cooking, for grown folks, and then I'm cooking for people with sensitive stomachs like mine. I'm going to start catering towards more people that want vegetables and fish products. And, like I said, look, I'm going to be cooking red beans and rice, neck bones, stuff like that, what grown folks eat.
Can I see a picture? Where can I see photographs of your food? I want to see what it looked like. I don't want no food, even if it's free, if I can't see a picture of it. You got a website? You got a Facebook?
I'm putting my niece is putting that up. She's putting up my TikTok. I got a couple of pictures of my food, and that's what she said, Lisa, you got to start taking pictures of your food. I'm like, Toriana, I keep forgetting to do that, baby. I be too busy preparing the food. I ain't got pictures to be trying to be looking and taking pictures of that stuff like that, baby. I got to taste this food. I got to make sure it's right, make sure it's presentable. You think I got time to remember to take pictures of my food? No, I don't. So I got a picture of one.
Lisa, I got
of my Rasta pasta.
Well, I got to take a break though, because this whole segment was just you talking about your food and not about the issues of the day. So thank you for.
I'm a
No, don't do that. You ain't got. Why don't we do this? Xavier, can we put up a new YouTube poll? Can we ask the people if Sherwin should eat Lisa's Rasta pasta? Just a simple yes or no. And I will, depending upon what the listeners say, Lisa, that determines whether I eat your Rasta pasta or not. Okay, I'm going to do a YouTube poll. I'm going to see what the people say. Is that okay with you?
Oh, my food sell out. Yeah, it all sells out.
All right, Lisa, thank you.
My name getting out there.
Thank you for your call.
I love you. Y'all people vote for me.
All right, then. Bye-bye, now. Okay. Ain't no damn way. Hell no.
It sounds pretty good to me.
After she put her foot in it. She only got 1 foot. So she can't put both feet in it. She got 1 foot. Can we do another YouTube poll? I just want to see what the people say. If you go to youtube.com or open up your YouTube app from your smartphone or other mobile device, search 1017 The Truth, hit subscribe. We have a new YouTube poll going up because Lisa just offered to make me her $26 per plate Rasta pasta. And she said she's going to bring it to me and to some of my colleagues for free of charge. But I'm asking you all, should I trust Lisa's Rasta pasta? Now, remember, I haven't seen this food before. I didn't even know that she was preparing meals and selling them. So just on what we know about Lisa, because Lisa's been calling us for quite some time, should I, Sherwin Hughes, eat Lisa's Rasta pasta? Whatever y'all say is what I'm going to do. Don't set me up for the okie doke. Don't everybody vote yes and then Lisa poisons me. Okay? I'll be very mad if I get poisoned and get the explosive diarrhea that's going on around the country right now. Have you heard about that? That's what it's called. It's called explosive. I don't need that. Only thing I need explosive is a woman that's got some good. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 FM. We'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Here's the deal. We gotta set ourselves up. See, retirement is the long game. We gotta make moves and make them early. Set up goals. Don't worry about a setback. Just save up and stack up to reach them. Let's put ourselves in the right position. Pre-game to greater things.
Start building your retirement plan at thisispretirement.org. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
For 75 years, the Muscular Dystrophy Association's voices have thundered through the halls of Congress.
For 75 years, we've willed the impossible into existence.
For 75 years, the MDA community has pushed the science,
shifted the narrative, and established the field of neuromuscular medicine.
And until that day, when this is all a thing of the past,
you couldn't stop us if you tried.
Join us and celebrate 75 years of breakthroughs at MDA75.org.
You can't buy a best friend. You can love them, walk them, pet them, and care for them, whether they want you to or not. You can take a picture or 50. You can fly to the moon, travel the world, or just stay in bed. You can't buy a best friend like that, but you can adopt one. There are millions of pets waiting for a best friend just like you. Help us save them all at bestfriends.org.
Talking about guns with others might not always feel comfortable, but it could save a life. Here's a way to start a conversation. Your family is going over to your neighbor's home for dinner for the first time. How would you ask if there are any unlocked guns in the home?
Hey, we're so excited for tonight. Before we come over, though, may I ask if there are any unlocked guns in your home?
Our guns are stored securely, locked in a safe that the kids can't access.
Awesome. Learn how to have the conversation at agreetoagree.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Wherever there's a need in our communities, there's a United Way. Improving lives so everyone can thrive. Where more people can gain access to health care and nutritious food for their tables. Where more community members can benefit from financial education and get connected to local resources for housing support. And where children are given more chances to reach their full potential. Community is where we find our strength and where we share our hope. United is the way. Visit unitedway.org.
Are people around me safe when I vape? Science does not support that belief. Exhaled vape emissions linger in the air, affecting indoor air quality and bystanders in the same space through secondhand exposure. Vaping emissions can also accumulate on clothes, hair, dust, and furniture, leading to exposure risks to bystanders of all ages. And vaping around a pregnant person can lead to serious health impacts on fetal and childhood development. Enough with the puff. Learn more at ul.org/vaping.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
At UW Milwaukee, students don't have to wait until college to start building their future. Roar Ready lets students K through 12th grade join in on hands-on programs across campus, from science and tech to arts, sports, and more. Students try new things, meet new people, and build skills that matter. Get started today at uwm.edu/roarready. That is uwm.edu/roarready. Okay, I'm thoroughly convinced y'all are trying to kill me. I can't believe it is. So we have a new poll up on YouTube because Lisa called in and she apparently makes Rasta pasta and other dishes. She offered to make some for me and Xavier and bring it to the studio. Mind you, Lisa has been threatening to come to this studio for 5 years and has never been here once. But maybe, just maybe, she's going to make the Rasta pasta and bring it to good old Sherwin. I don't eat everybody's food. I can't. And that's a good rule of thumb to have. And so I'm going to ask you all, the wonderful, incredible, and surprisingly attractive listeners of this program, should I eat Lisa's Rasta pasta? And we have a new YouTube poll up. Should Sherwin eat Lisa's Rasta pasta? 81% of you say yes. Oh, I see how it is. Oh, y'all want me to die. So if I'm going, who you going to listen to? No, Xavier. No, they're not. You damn liberal.
I am definitely not a liberal.
What? You're more liberal than a liberal. You're a hippie.
No, a liberal is that's derogatory. I'm a progressive, a leftist.
Tomato.
No.
Marxist.
Big difference.
Commie. My damn uncle didn't go to Vietnam War for you to run around here and be a damn hippie.
You sounding like Donald Trump.
Donald Trump didn't go to Vietnam War either.
Well, he just gave a big speech about being anti-communist, as if that's something that's happening.
Oh, good. People are fighting for me. Now it's 74% say I should eat Lisa's Rasta pasta, 26%. The real question is, would y'all eat it? I can't. I don't think I can do it. I don't want to do. Please don't make. Please, people, vote.
I'll try
no.
it first.
Okay, now it's starting to go more in my favor. Can't just eat the stuff that woman has said. She would intentionally poison me. And here's the thing: what if I already have the virus for the explosive diarrhea, but then I eat Lisa's food and then I actually get sick? I would blame her for the rest of my life. Or if I died, that's too much stress on my mama. We just buried my father like 6 months ago. I can't die too. My funeral would be, oh man, it would be a party. It would be, don't have too much fun at my funeral. I mean, you can have a little fun. Don't celebrate too hard. Lisa kills me with her Rasta pasta. I do want to go into the rest of the details on what you need to pass the Milwaukee Police Academy, because we do have an officer shortage. And I think it's in the city's best interest to have people that are from here, that are familiar with Milwaukee, that know the people, the places, the spaces, and the culture. If you grew up here and you went to school here, you have a better understanding of how this place operates. If you didn't grow up here, parts of Milwaukee may look really foreign to you. And if it's foreign to you, you may police it in a way that is also unorthodox. And I don't think that we need more of that. At some point, we've got to figure out how we can have better, stronger, more trusting police-community relations. And if there is an officer that is from here, that is relatable, that knows the block, his mother, his grandmother, his brothers, his sisters grew up in this part of town, then that can establish a little bit of credibility. And we do want our officers to be credible. So if we want to encourage young people as they are considering their career paths to be Milwaukee police officers, to protect and serve the neighborhoods in which they live in and the neighborhoods in which they grew up in, we have to make sure that we have a sufficient number of people that can get through the academy, because I would rather hire from within than from without. We'll go into a little more details on the other side. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be back for hour 3.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
At Milwaukee College Prep, we believe brilliance lives in every child. Here, students are challenged, supported, and celebrated every single day. With small class sizes, dedicated teachers, and a proven track record of academic excellence, MCP is helping Milwaukee kids reach their fullest potential. Enrollment is still open for grades K-3 through 8. Apply today. Give your child a school where they'll thrive. Visit mkuprep.com or call today. Milwaukee College Prep, brilliance lives here.
Join the Milton House Museum for an extraordinary celebration of history, heritage, and freedom on September 26th at 7 p.m. at Janesville Performing Arts Center. This special evening features Grammy Award-winning Fisk Jubilee singers from Nashville, a legendary ensemble having preserved the powerful legacy of African-American spirituals, carrying songs of faith, resilience, and hope to audiences around the world. Opening the evening is the dynamic Kofi Dance Company. Don't miss this unforgettable evening supporting the Milton House Museum. Tickets available at miltonhouse.org.
My mom has decided to learn to paint, and she's good.
My dad's now into creative cuisine, and I've already put on 6 pounds.
Learning new things comes with age.
My mom, she started forgetting my name and what we're talking about.
Forgetting well-known things doesn't. Memory loss may be a sign of Alzheimer's disease. Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Reading aloud to children sharpens their listening skills, expands their vocabularies, and nurtures a lifelong love of reading. That's why Reading is Fundamental, the nation's leading children's literacy nonprofit, offers free monthly read-alouds by popular authors through its Rally to Read program. Visit rallytoread.org to watch the read-alouds and discover exciting reading activities for school and home. Visit rallytoread.org today.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
When I met both of them, it was like my missing pieces were found. Like it was just like an instant, these are my kids. If you're considering adopting a teen, just do it. Kids need families. I don't care the age, everybody deserves a family.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. A message brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Welcome to Hour 3 of The Truth with me, Sherwin Hughes. Let me give you the results of our previous poll. We asked how often you all attend religious services, just trying to get a baseline of how often you guys attend church. After 91 people voted, 11% said a few times a month. 13% said a few times per year. 20% of you attend Sunday service every Sunday. And the overwhelming majority at 56% rarely or never attend church. Well, that explains a lot. Y'all are a bunch of heathen sinners. Probably living in sin right now. Xavier just raised his hand. You look like a sinner. You probably be fornicating, and you probably be lusting, and you're a glutton, and you're greedy, and you be violating the commandments. One of the commandments is thou shalt not build a data center in the black community. Another commandment must be thou shalt not vote, because y'all definitely sticking to that one. Curly Q says, Lisa's catering now? According to her. SGMKE says, you know we gonna say yes. So the current poll, should Sherwin eat Lisa's Rasta pasta? 68% of you say yes. I don't trust the 68% of you that say yes, and let me tell you why. Because 56% of you don't go to church. Y'all need God in your lives. We had a big old family reunion down at my cousin's house in Memphis. Man, I love Memphis, Tennessee. Memphis, Tennessee gets it right. They know what to do with their unruly elements because they don't play down there in the South. So we had a bunch of big family meals. And I was honored to say grace all weekend. I got a good grace. My graces are good. I know my graces, even my mother was impressed because my mother just thinks I'm a heathen bastard. She just, oh, Sherwin, I pray for you. Because, I'm too critical of a thinker to just, because there's some stuff in religion. Like, if it gives people hope and faith, like, I'm all for it. But some of the stuff don't make no sense. Now, first of all, how Mary get pregnant?
Oh, you don't believe the virgin birth?
I'm just saying the only time that's happened is, and then when you think about it, God, because Jesus is the Son of God. So Jesus' daddy had sex with Mary, but then what is Joseph then? Joseph.
A cook.
You don't say that. Now, see there? That's why my mother thinks I'm a heathen, because you say stuff like that.
Really?
Mm-hmm. But I gave some good graces, is what I'm trying to say. Everybody bow your heads. Everybody bowed, too. I was like, wow, I like this control. And I just said what I felt on my heart. I don't even remember what I said. It was good, though, because when you end it, you say, what's my closing? In your name we pray, amen. My mother had the loudest amen out of everybody. It was like 30-something people. She's like, amen! that's my boy. I think it made her feel good. And so then that was because we had a formal dinner on Friday night, and then Saturday we had a big old-fashioned cookout. And I said that grace too. Everybody held hands. It was a beautiful moment. Let's talk to Al. Hello, Al. How are you doing today? What's on your mind?
I'm going to say this. Go on and try Lisa's pasta, okay? I say this. If you can lick on ass and eat cats, you can try Lisa's pasta. If it's good, you're going to let us know, and if it's bad, you're going to have dookie diarrhea. So go on and try it, okay? I'm going to say this about the church because I really don't go to church. But if I do go, I might go to try to find a baby mother, okay? We are all human beings, so I say, bless the flesh of the skin as I lay in the bed in sin. Pull back the sheets, but when my flesh rise, we got to continue to keep on living, all right? Because you see, if we don't keep on living, we're gonna have Sammy Davis Jr. and Little Richard, wop baba loo baba, wop bamboo, gonna be dancing all in your mind, your spirit, and your soul, and everybody else. They're gonna be out there doing everything they big enough to do. You know, Jesus didn't wear no drawers. You know that, right? Just walking through the mountains, flopping, swinging everywhere, and he seen them prostitutes. Perky breast, snatch waist, and big old 52-inch hips. Okay? What you think he did? And we know when it comes to a man how we get some night, or how we want to get out there commando. Okay? So live your life. He did. Y'all have a good day and go get you some, okay? And then when you get done, take a shower, go back and get some more. And if you trust them and you can sleep with one eye open, let them stay till 5:59 a.m. and get it again. Now, you might be shorty next morning, but it was world hell worth it. Keep on living. Bye-bye.
Bye. Looking to discover and support local businesses in the community? Then make sure you tune in every Friday at 8 a.m. to Truth in the Morning with Homer Blow and Bailey Coleman for What the Business Is, powered by We Energies. Each week, you'll hear from local business owners as they share what their business is, where they're located, and one valuable lesson they've learned along the way. We Energies is proud to help power local businesses and the communities they serve. Don't miss What the Business Is every Friday at 8 a.m. only on Truth in the Morning with Homer Blow and Bailey Coleman. Powered by We Energies, delivering the energy that powers local business. Okay, so Al doesn't talk that way on other shows. I heard him this morning. He called Bailey and Homer. I try to listen to Bailey and Homer every morning because a lot of times they call me out. Like this morning, I was listening. Well, you better tune in to Sherwin because Sherwin's going to talk about it in a whole bunch of detail. I'm like, I didn't want to talk about it in a whole bunch of detail, Homer. So, all right, I guess I better talk about the damn Midtown development. But right now, we're talking about this shortage of police officers because, we do need more officers to patrol and to respond quickly. Even if and when we were ever at maximum capacity, if we were fully staffed, and I'm sure we've been fully staffed when it comes to the Milwaukee Police Department, I don't know if response times were ever record-breaking. In the handful of times I've had to call the police living where I live, well, I'll tell you what. There are certain things that you can say when you request service that will get them to come right away. So not the current neighbor I have, maybe 2 neighbors ago at the house directly next door to mine to the north, I heard a bit of a ruckus. And I looked out the window and I saw 2 teenage girls climbing into the window of my neighbor's house. And I know that they didn't live there. It was weird because it was girls. And I watched them climb in kind of in disbelief. And I was like, oh, I should probably call them people because this isn't good. And one climbed up and then the other one climbed in the window. And they were turning lights on in the house because I could actually see them moving throughout the house and going room to room. So I called them people. And I don't know what it is about when you call them people, you got to whisper. Even though I'm inside my house and nobody can hear me, I'm like, oh, hey, there's somebody breaking in to my neighbor's house. Okay, can I get the address of the property, please? And I gave them the address of the property. Okay, we're going to send somebody over right away. By the time I got off the phone with dispatch, the first girl was already coming out of the vehicle, or out of the house rather, and then the second girl climbed out of the window, and then they drove away in a car. Like, as they were pulling down the street, the squad showed up. It was fast, y'all. So they do prioritize certain calls, like a crime in progress. Or at least at that time, and that was probably 2000, because it's before these rat neighbors moved in, probably 2015, 2016. Current Milwaukee Police Department requirements. Remember, we are short about 170 officers and 30 detectives. In order to be a Milwaukee police officer, you got to pass a series of tests and requirements, and they are as follows. To be hired as a Milwaukee police officer, an applicant must generally be 18 years old to apply, 21 by the time of graduation, be a U.S. citizen, possess a high school diploma or a GED, hold a valid driver's license, pass a written exam, pass a physical readiness test, pass a background investigation, pass medical, psychological, and drug screening, and complete the Milwaukee Police Academy. Milwaukee Police Department's physical readiness test includes events such as a 1.5-mile run, push-ups, sit-ups, and an obstacle/agility course. The 1.5-mile run needs to be done between 13 and 16 minutes. I'd imagine some of these higher values and higher times might correspond with what women need to do, because I think they have a little bit more grace in these benchmarks. Push-ups, you have to do between 20 and 30. Manon can do that, because Manon just be doing push-ups on his show. Sit-ups, you got to do between 25 and 35. And how long does it take from when you sign up for the academy until when you're sworn in? The application and testing takes between 1 and 3 months. The background investigation can take as long as 5 months. Medical and psychological screening, 1 to 2 months. The academy itself is 6 months, and then you'll be sworn in at graduation. What percentage of Milwaukee 18 to 30-year-olds would fail the physical test? Using CDC and Wisconsin health data, about 45% of young adults in Milwaukee are obese. Another 25 to 30% are overweight. Only a minority would meet the recommended fitness guidelines. So we're already counting out our community as far as physical fitness. Estimated Milwaukee Police Department physical test failure rate for Milwaukee 18 to 30-year-olds is 70%. 30% are likely to pass. What percentage would fail the background check? Milwaukee Police Department disqualifiers include felony convictions, serious domestic violence offenses, certain drug use histories, repeated OWI, DUI offenses, patterns of dishonesty, serious driving records, gang involvement, and failure to disclose information. For Milwaukee residents age 18 to 30, combining criminal record prevalence, license suspensions, and other disqualifying factors suggests an estimated background check failure rate of 35 to 50%. Combined estimate, how many would actually qualify? The starting pool of 18 to 30-year-old Milwaukeeans, we're calling that 100%. Meeting basic eligibility, now we're down to 80%. Passed the physical fitness test, we're down to 30%. Passed the background check, we're down to 20%. Passed the medical and psychological exams, we were down to 18%. Bottom line, between 18 and 20%, or 1 in 5 Milwaukee residents age 18 to 30 would likely be able to pass both the physical standards and the background investigation required to be a Milwaukee police officer. So that's not enough people. If you grab 100 random Milwaukee residents between the ages of 18 and 30 years old, only about 20 of them would make it through the full police hiring process. The biggest filters aren't race or politics, they're fitness, criminal history, driving records, drug history, and the ability to pass a very intensive background investigation. Milwaukee Police Department has struggled with recruiting for several years. The challenge is not simply finding people who want the job, it's finding enough people that can meet the physical fitness standards, have clean enough backgrounds, pass psychological screenings, and commit to a demanding academy and career. That substantially narrows the eligibility pool, especially in a city where a significant share of young adults face economic, educational, health, or justice system challenges. I'm going to take a break, and when I come back, I'm going to share with you another disparity that goes undiscussed and in some cases undiscovered. And I believe that this particular disparity is worthy of examination, and we're going to talk about that next. You're listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. I'll be back shortly.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Milwaukee business owners, this is your moment. Every Friday at 8 a.m., call in to 101.7 The Truth for What the Business Is. Tell us what your business is, where you're located, and one thing you've learned along the way. What the Business is powered by We Energies, delivering the energy that powers local business. Fridays at 8 a.m. on 101.7 The Truth. Fridays at 8 a.m. on 101.7 The Truth.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Doctors Without Borders is delivering life-saving medical care where it's needed most in communities around the world. From bandaging war-wounded patients in Sudan to providing clean drinking water in Haiti, we're in more than 70 countries worldwide, bringing patients from sick to recovering, from emergency to aid, from crisis to care. This life-saving care is made possible by a global movement of supporters like you. Thank you.
Mommy, can I sit in the front seat just this one time? Please, please, please.
No, not yet.
But why?
Because I love you, and you're just not ready yet. Now, get in the back so I can get you in your car seat, please.
Putting your kids in the right seat for their age and size is an act of love. Check that your kids are in the right seat at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Love protects. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Milwaukee Black Talk on 101.7 FM.
The Truth.
And 1510 AM. W269DL. Milwaukee. A Milwaukee Black media company.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Welcome back to the program. Millicent said, "You're going to hell." I'll meet you there, Millicent. We riding down together. Then she says, "You have to kill a dog." No, you don't. Millicent, sometimes I think that you're on strong drugs. Rodney says, "Meatloaf, question mark, It's a burger in the oven. It's like boiling water. You can't mess it up, can you? Are you kidding me? Yes, you can. You can burn it. You can undercook it. You can poorly season it. So I want to read this from W. Benton. They say, "Good morning, Sherwin. What I don't understand is why are you now providing these significant details about the Midtown Research Center after the fact? Do you know how long I've been talking about this? See, this is our problem. Because you just listened today. You think this is the first time I've been talking about this? I've been talking about the situation in Midtown for so long. I'm thinking that y'all have gotten sick of hearing about it. So, W. Benson, you're just proving that you're not paying attention. Because I don't know if any other media outlet has covered it as extensive as we have. In fact, the last meeting that I went to, Xavier was also there, and he got some footage. Can you send me what you have, Xavier? Even if it's not edited and cut, can you just send it over to me?
Yeah, I can send it all. You want I have like a 5-minute edit.
Let me get it.
I got
Can you send it today?
Yeah, I can send it by the end of the day.
All right, because I want to put it on YouTube.
I got you.
Thank you. Because people like W. Benton think that I'm just talking about it today for the first time. What else did he say? It's so frustrating. He says, I'm assuming it's a he. You are likely correct that the facility would have been added to the tax base. The same goes for Alderman Mark Chambers. I think he had a huge responsibility to inform us, quote, ignorant residents of the details. Dude, he had 3 town hall meetings, bro. Or sis. What rock do some people live on? And maybe I shouldn't say that because I'm overexposed to media and to information. I just like to get all the news because I want to know what the hell is going on in our city so I can figure it out. This discussion has been going on for the entire summer, even going back to the spring. The same goes for Alderman Mark Chambers. I think he had a huge responsibility to inform us ignorant residents of the details regarding this research facility. Thank you for doing the research, but it took you a minute, hence the untimely I know you being sarcastic. And then W. Benton goes on to say, this information would have been far more useful before the decision to remove the data center from the midst. Dude, why am I even reading this? Johnny come lately. What else? Millicent said, I'm going to be selling fans to make sure you bring quarters. So Millicent thinks I'm going to hell and she's going to sell me a fan for a quarter. I don't think that hell exists. Hell is on earth. Heaven is what you make it. That's my perspective on that. All right. That goes for the 833-212-1017 commentary. Let's go over to the YouTube chat. Let's check the latest poll. Lisa called in and said, Sherwin, I'm going to make you some rasta pasta. I'm going to make you some neck bones and some ham hocks and some red beans and some rice. I don't want to eat her food. I don't want to eat her food just based on how she talks. And no offense, I don't want to eat a Jehovah's food because it might do weird stuff to it. Because Jehovah's, that's a cult.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yo, but they're woo.
Aren't all religions cults, though?
Not like this one. Some religions are like, hey, whatever. Like the Unitarians, they just get together and mutually masturbate, smoke a little weed.
Or Buddhists.
They're all about peace. And monks don't talk. Catholics, they Catholic. Lutherans, they Lutheran. Baptists do everything. Seventh-day Adventists, that's another cult.
Catholics like the kids, right?
Oh, they love them.
Especially the boys.
Oh, boy. Yeah. The city of Milwaukee did a study. It was incredible research because the Catholic Archdiocese kept shockingly accurate records of the number of priests. And it goes back to 1937. Journal Sentinel did an article probably 10 to 15 years ago. And those records were released going back to 1937 of every priest that was accused of sexually assaulting a child. So what happened was the priest was accused. They were removed from that parish. They were sent to a church-ordered psychologist, and they were given some time off. And guess what they then did? They reassigned them to a different parish. And guess what happened? They offended again. And so the church would the Catholic Church would remove them from that parish. They would send them to another church-ordered psychologist, and they would give them some time off, and they would reassign them to the parish. Guess what happened? And in all of those detailed records going back to 1937, only once did a priest offend a girl. And guess what he did? He bought it's still gross and bad, but at least dude was on the right track. He bought a 12-year-old girl some lingerie. Like she's 12. You're not supposed to do that. But it's not like he bought a 12-year-old boy some panties. Because boy panties is diabolical work. That's not. You probably put him in some heels. Because kids already. Like, you ever seen a little kid like put on like a woman's high heel shoes?
Nope.
It's the funniest thing I've ever seen. No, if you are around little kids, whenever they see grown people's shoes, kids always do it. They always will put on an adult shoes, and it's because my little brother used to do it. He used to my mother's high heels, and it was just funny because kids always see shoes and their little tiny feet are clopping around in the shoes. But imagine if a priest was like, "Put this on, my child. Wear this for father." Ooh, that's gross.
Yeah.
Just to think about that. In fact, so when we had our scandal here under Archbishop Rembert Weakland, he was a bad one. He was bad. He even wrote a book about it. And he admitted all of the sexual abuse of children. We never prosecuted any of these priests in Milwaukee, in our archdiocese, that sexually abused children. And the district attorney, our longtime district attorney, E. Michael McCann, is he still alive? I don't know if he is. But he was DA from like 68 or 69 until 2006. And then he had a couple of things that he did, and he wanted future DAs to also follow in his footsteps. Number one is you don't charge priests with sexual abuse. That's number one. Number two, you don't charge cops. And so when Michael McCann was thinking about retiring, he wanted to find someone to be his successor because he got reelected every 4 years. So whoever he anointed, whoever he endorsed, E. Michael McCann, that is, would get elected Milwaukee County District Attorney. And there was a little-known assistant DA. He didn't make a lot of noise. He kept to himself. He wasn't very political. He was just, sitting in the DA's office, just doing his work and taking his cases. Wasn't really well-known. And E. Michael McCann was looking for someone who would adhere to those long-standing rules in Milwaukee. If you become DA, don't charge cops, don't charge priests. E. Michael McCann, you should know, an Irishman and a devout Catholic. And a guy named John Chisholm was like, yeah, I'll go by those rules. And E. Michael McCann endorsed John Chisholm, and John Chisholm served probably 18 years as Milwaukee County District Attorney. Now, E. Michael McCann would have been somewhat disappointed because in a couple of cases, John Chisholm did charge police officers with crimes, but guess who they were? Black and Hispanic. But priests, nope. You cannot have a society that believes in justice if because you wear what's the priest outfit called? A
gown.
Name for it. They got
the clerk.
Or even what's the thing they wear on their neck? That's got a name. I don't even know.
I'm not religious at all.
The priest neck.
The choker. Priest choker.
A collar, maybe.
Yes, that's what it's called.
If you wear a collar, then you don't get charged with a crime. Because think about it. If you like babies, go into the priesthood. Because then you just can. That's not
Catholic priesthood.
On second thought, don't go into the priesthood. Or they suggest, well, maybe you just let them get married. I don't know if that. Because I think if you're a man and you like women, grown women, then kids aren't your thing. So letting priests get married, because most of them would probably be unmarried anyway. Because grown women are so good.
Yeah, they are.
Good. I'm never going to get over it.
They smell so good.
Good.
Feel so good.
I can't even explain. It's crazy because if you ask women, hey, ladies, could you live on a planet without men? Like, oh, my God, yes. We could walk around at night and we would feel safe. If you ask men if they could live on a planet without women, it's an unequivocal no. Ain't no way. I would kill everybody if there was no women. I got to have it.
Well, look at the incels. They're a perfect example of not having women.
They're so, even when women are bad, they're good. Man, listen, somebody from my past recently came back. Ooh, I'm so glad she came back home.
Oh, you're thotting around again.
I'm trying not to.
Are you trying to settle?
Hold on now. My idea of settling is not like Nitty's idea of settling down. And I appreciate family people. You know what I mean? But it's a menu out here, G.
There is an extensive one.
Man, listen, it's whatever you want. Milwaukee punches above its weight in a number of things. Creatives, venues like entertainment venues, like festivals and things, and restaurants. And I think we punch above our weight in beautiful women. Now, I was in Tennessee over my long weekend, my little extended break. The South ain't nothing to shake a stick at either. Them women down south, boy, and it's the hospitality. They're all so sweet.
Memphis thick,
Memphis thin, Memphis tall, Memphis short. Those women down there, I was impressed, especially at the airport. As you see some pretty women and stuff, the women flying. I saw more cheeks at the Memphis, Tennessee airport than I'd see on Bradford Beach.
Yeah, they're trying to be comfy. They're in their yoga pants, you know.
No, it wasn't. It was ass pants.
Oh, they're in the ass pants.
Yeah, because it's hot. Ooh, it was so hot down there all weekend. It was a lot of ass. Good God. I'm like, ooh, that ass on all them airplane seats. There's a lot of ass prints.
Oh, okay. You're an ass man?
I like it. Yeah, I like it. Hips, too. I like it. Like when a woman walks, like when you hear that sound effect, because it's just shaking and swaying in the wind. Good God almighty.
Oh, you like the motorboat the cheeks.
Woo. Hey, don't nobody do all that. Don't nobody. No one motorboats in each. They're so good. And they're all polite. Hey, how are you? Oh, I'm fine, Miss Ma'am. How are you? Where are you from? You ain't from round here, is you? No, ma'am. I'm from up north. You is? I bet you ain't never had no good Southern cooking, even though I have. You know what, Miss Ma'am? I really haven't. Well, here, take down my number. How long you in town for? As long as I need to be, ma'am. Well, before you go, I'm going to make you a good old-fashioned Southern meal. You're going to come on to the house. I'll leave the door open for you, and you come on in and sit down. I have some sweet tea. I have some fresh fruit, and I have your homemade dessert. Good God almighty. I'm sold. It don't take much from me. All right, I got to take a commercial break. Otherwise, I'm going to just drift off in a la-la land. Oh, women are so good. And they don't even understand how much power and control they have over us. You don't have to be mean and tough and hard. You know how you make men cower? And guess who said this on air? Denise did. Because Denise, I don't know if y'all know, Denise Thomas, who comes across as really super strong and really tough. No. Denise has it figured out. Denise, if she wants to get what she needs from a man, she'll be like, I need you right now. I need you. Will you help me, please? We love a damsel in distress. We don't want I can do it all myself. I don't need you. We need a woman that's going, no, I need you. Please.
You need that?
Running. I'm Captain Save-A-Ho.
Well,
they'll
that makes one of us.
Sherwin. And when they draw my name out like that, like, Sherwin. I need you right now. Where you at? Please come over now. I can't make it without you. I'll go over there so fast, even a Tesla will be out of breath. You understand? The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. We'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com.
I'm Sherwin Hughes, and I know the power of Stars and Stripes Honor Flight firsthand. As someone who's been on an honor flight, I can tell you it's a day you'll never forget. Stars and Stripes Honor Flight gives our oldest veterans who served in any location in June of 1975 or earlier a free one-day trip to Washington, D.C. for veterans. Airfare, meals, a coach bus tour, and special flight apparel are all included. It's a day of honor, gratitude, and camaraderie. Veterans who served in the Vietnam or Korean War go to flySSHF.org and ask for an application.
I always had to be so good, no one could ignore me. Carve my path with data and drive. But some people only see who I am on paper. The paper ceiling, the limitations from degree screens to stereotypes that are holding back over 70 million stars. Workers skilled through alternative routes rather than a bachelor's degree. It's time for skills to speak for themselves. Find resources for breaking through barriers at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
I'm Chris Jakimick. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is my job is people, everyone is my business. But unfortunately in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jakimick, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide. My service never stops.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
Doctors Without Borders is delivering life-saving medical care where it's needed most in communities around the world. From bandaging war-wounded patients in Sudan to providing clean drinking water in Haiti, we're in more than 70 countries worldwide, bringing patients from sick to recovering, from emergency to aid, from crisis to care. This life-saving care is made possible by a global movement of supporters like you. Thank you.
And here's Heather with the weather.
Well, it's beautiful out there, sunny and 75, almost a little chilly in the shade. Now, let's get a read on the inside of your car. It is hot. You've only been parked a short time and it's already 99 degrees in there. Let's not leave children in the back seat while running errands. It only takes a few minutes for their body temperatures to rise, and that could be fatal.
Cars get hot, fast, and can be deadly. Never leave a child in a car. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, honey bear.
'Cause remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Mustang Sally. Guess you better slow your Mustang down. Oh, Lord.
Milwaukee, don't miss it. The 1017 The Truth Family Fest is happening Saturday, August 22nd from 11 a.m. until 2 p.m. at Riverside University High School. It's free and packed with music, family fun, community resources, and back-to-school support. Want to be a vendor or a sponsor? Email Sierra Brown at Milwaukee Black Media. That is Sierra, Cierra.Brown at MilwaukeeBlackMedia.com. Thank Educators Credit Union, Gruber Law Offices, and American Family Insurance for making it possible. Come on, Mustang Sally. Slow that Mustang down. Lord have mercy. Gotta have it, X. Need it. Need it in my life. Women are fantastic. They're just so. Oof. I just don't know how a man that likes men don't have as much to offer. You know what I'm saying? It's just not. Because women are good coming and going. You know what I mean? Walking towards you, and then even when they walking away.
Well, you're a straight man, so I'm sure some gay dudes be like, "Oh man, look at that dude's butt," or that, you know, that sweatpants. You know.
Say more about that, Xavier.
Well, I'm just, I have a lot of female friends. They're like, "Oh my God, look at his pecs. He looks so big. Oh, he's so tall. Oh, dark and handsome."
Oh, okay.
I'm just,
I think you should probably get the phone. That's what I think you should do. I don't know why his female friends feel comfortable telling him that. My female friends bet not. Bet not. I wish they would, because I don't disrespect my female friend. Unless she's my wingman. The best wingman you can have is a woman, because you're already, proven. If you're with an attractive woman, and this whole thing oh, Sherwin, I would never talk to a married man. You're a liar. I proved it. Y'all remember when I used to wear that wedding ring?
the number of women that would hit on me, because maybe a married man is more approachable. Maybe he's less threatening. Maybe he's less intimidating because, he already has a woman. Also, maybe there's something about that man that he's already married. Some woman already proofed him. He's already been validated. And women are in competition with one another. Y'all will sit here and say that you're not. Oh, yes, you are. When y'all get dressed up, you ain't getting dressed up for us, because we'll talk to you when you're the least dressed up. And it's crazy because I can see a woman's beauty when her hair's not done and when she's not wearing makeup and she's just dressed down, maybe out running errands. That to me is beauty, because that how she looks then is how you're going to get her most of the time. And then some women have the nerve to be offended, like, oh, why are you talking to me now? I look gross. Because when you get all dolled up, then you don't want to talk to me. That's the wildest thing ever. The stuff that women will do to make themselves look better to other women makes me think they're all a bunch of lesbians. And now there are some women like, no. I get dressed up for men folk. Yeah, come on over here. Come on. I like that now. But when I put that ring on, so it was myself, a couple members of the Common Council, former alderman Ashanti Hamilton, and I think who was the other person that was with us? We met at we got some beers and some wings at Left's Lucky Town in Tulsa. And I was sitting on the end of the table to where the server, when she walked past, she had more access to me because of where I was sitting. I had my ring on that day. First thing she said when she came up to me, not, hey, welcome in, can I take your drink order? She looked at me and said, I bet you're trouble. I was like, and I bet you found it. Don't play with me, girl. I'm too grown. Don't do it. Don't start it. Because once this engine is on, we redline. Let's talk to Linda. You're on 101.7 The Truth. How are you?
Good morning, Sherwin, and to all my beautiful black and white people of Milwaukee. So, Sherwin, you're trying to tell me and all the feminine women out there that all we have to do to get a man is to call his name. Oh, Jesus Christ. Like Sherwin.
Linda, relax.
Sherwin, I need you, baby. I need you now. Right now, Sherwin. Sherwin.
That's what you said you wanted.
Sherwin! Like that? Is that how you like it?
I don't think he likes that.
It's so good. Okay. Bye-bye.
How you feeling about that?
Why do I even?
Swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up?
Shaquetta McElroy is on a mission. Posted up at her kitchen island one Friday morning, she had a single aim, getting as many students as possible tested for lead poisoning at Clark Street School next week. The challenge, making sure parents give their permission. McElroy, a leader with the Resident Lead Coalition on Lead Emergency, or COAL, knows her work is urgent. Lead, a neurotoxin, can cause devastating health effects for children. The first step to getting help is getting tested. But the city of Milwaukee has a problem. Since the pandemic, lead screening of kids has plummeted. Testing numbers have struggled to recover since, especially on the north and near south sides of the city, according to a new Milwaukee Journal Sentinel analysis. That means fewer Black and Latino children, the groups that face the highest risk of lead exposure, aren't being tested. The sudden decline in testing raises questions about whether citywide lead poisoning data paints a false picture of progress. In recent years, the overall rate of lead poisoning in the city has reached record lows, but the analysis suggests that that is because many of the children who are most likely to be poisoned are not being tested. I'm going to take a break, come back, and give you the details of how bad this disparity is and some of the negative impacts and consequences when children have high micrograms of lead per deciliter of blood. You're listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. I'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
I walk on the shoulders of giants who have come before me.
I am grateful for those who changed yesterday.
But I live in today.
And I pledge I will help shape tomorrow.
Milwaukee College Prep Scholars honor Black History Month not just during February, but each and every day they walk through the door, preparing for a better life for themselves and the world around them. Enroll your scholar at MilwaukeeCollegePrep.com.
Our children deserve a real chance to make it in life, and a good education is a passport to opportunity. At City Ford Collective, we're working to make sure there's a great Milwaukee school for every Milwaukee family, because more good options lead to better outcomes. And who doesn't want that? Together, we can give every child the foundation they need to thrive, and a stronger future for kids means a stronger future for Milwaukee. To learn more about our mission, visit us at cityfordcollective.org. That's cityfordcollective.org.
When a warrior faces adversity, he fights through it. He finds a way. Freedom isn't free. Rolling strong. Belief. Believe you can, and you will.
Wheelchairs for Warriors provides mobility solutions to veterans and first responders injured in the line of duty. Join the mission and visit wheelchairsforwarriors.org.
Here's the deal. We gotta set ourselves up. See, retirement is the long game. We gotta make moves and make them early. Set up goals. Don't worry about a setback. Just save up and stack up to reach them. Let's put ourselves in the right position. Pre-game to greater things.
Start building your retirement plan at thisispretirement.org. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
For 75 years, the Muscular Dystrophy Association's voices have thundered through the halls of Congress.
For 75 years, we've willed the impossible into existence.
For 75 years, the MDA community has pushed the science,
shifted the narrative, and established the field of neuromuscular medicine.
And until that day when this is all a thing of the past,
you couldn't stop us if you tried.
Join us and celebrate 75 years of breakthroughs at MDA75.org.
You can't buy a best friend. You can love them, walk them, pet them, and care for them, whether they want you to or not. You can take a picture or 50. You can fly to the moon, travel the world, or just stay in bed. You can't buy a best friend like that, but you can adopt one. There are millions of pets waiting for a best friend just like you. Help us save them all at bestfriends.org.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Life is better with American Family Insurance because when you know you're fully protected, your home, your vehicle, and everything you work hard to build, you can actually enjoy it, and that's what it's all about. Not stressing the what ifs, but moving forward with confidence. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly with American Family Insurance. Get a quote or find an agent at amfam.com.
I met her in a hotel lobby, masturbating with a magazine. She said, how'd you like to waste some time? And I could not resist when I saw a little naked grind.
I don't know nothing about this, darling Nikki. Stop it. One of the greatest albums of all time. I think it ranks up there with Thriller, in my opinion. Purple Rain soundtrack, 1984. Okay, what do we have going on here? Milwaukee remains one of the highest risk cities in the United States for childhood-led exposure because of its exceptionally old housing stock, widespread lead-based paint hazards, aging rental properties, and concentrations of poverty. Although these have declined dramatically over the past quarter century, lead poisoning continues to disproportionately affect Black children children living in Milwaukee's oldest neighborhoods. How many Milwaukee children have elevated blood lead levels? There are two important numbers to consider. One, children currently meeting the medical definition of lead poisoning, which is 3.5 micrograms per deciliter. And two, children who have measurable lead in their bloodstream that is below that threshold. The second group is much larger because modern medical research has concluded that there is no safe level of lead in the blood. Estimated Milwaukee population under the age of 18, using recent census information, total city of Milwaukee population 560,000, number of children under 18 between 118 and 122,000. Children with elevated blood lead levels because Wisconsin routinely reports surveillance primarily for children under the age of 6. Estimates for all children require modeling from state testing data. Approximately between 24 to 28,000 Milwaukee children under the age of 6 receive blood tests annually. Since Wisconsin has lowered its intervention threshold to 3.5 micrograms per deciliter, more children qualify for intervention. Based upon Milwaukee Health Department trends and Wisconsin surveillance, the estimated number of children meeting the current definition of being lead poisoned is at minimum 2,700 children with blood levels of more than 3.5 micrograms per deciliter each. Many additional children have detectable levels below 3.5 micrograms per deciliter. Lifetime childhood exposure, if we include children who currently have elevated lead levels, previously tested elevated, or experienced measurable lead exposure during early childhood, a reasonable public health estimate is current elevated lead levels, 2,700, detectable lead below the intervention threshold, 18,000. Children who have experienced measurable lead exposure sometime before the age of 18, 35,000 children. This represents 29% of Milwaukee children have experienced measurable lead exposure during childhood. These estimates align with Milwaukee's historic testing prevalence and the city's unusually large inventory of pre-1950 housing. Here comes the fun part: racial disparities. Although the state of Wisconsin no longer routinely publishes current citywide race tables every year, decades of lead surveillance consistently show significant disparities. Estimated distribution among children with elevated blood lead levels. Asians are 8% of Milwaukee's children. They represent less than 5% of children with elevated blood lead levels. 29% of Milwaukee's children are Caucasian. They represent about 8% of the lead-poisoned children. 28% of Milwaukee's children are Latino or Hispanic, and they represent 18% of those poisoned by lead. You ready for this? You ready for the good number? Yay, blacks win again in the disparity contest. 37% of Milwaukee's children are African American. They represent 70% of those who are lead poisoned. Well. This means black children are approximately 2 to 3 times more likely than white children to experience elevated blood lead levels. The disparity is driven primarily by differences in age of housing, rental housing quality, concentrated poverty, deferred maintenance, environmental hazards, rather than biological differences. The geographic concentration, guess which one is number one zip code? 53206, followed by 53205, 53208, 53209, 53210, and 53212. And portions of 53216 show a disproportionate number of black children with elevated blood lead levels. Cognitive effects. Scientists now agree that no level of lead exposure has been shown to be completely safe. Lead interferes directly with brain development, and research consistently finds reductions in IQ. Roughly 3 IQ points for even minimal exposure to lead. Substantially greater losses with higher exposure. So you got to keep in mind now, the higher the lead exposure, the more literal IQ points these kids are losing. I just would be willing to bet that if we took some of this nonprofit money, some of this government money, I don't know, is there still ARPA money left, still COVID money left, and we tested some of the worst juvenile actors, you're going to find these kids have so much lead in their blood they probably glow in the dark. Children with high levels of lead in their blood demonstrate poor planning, reasoning, organizing, working memory, and self-control. They are more impulsive. It impacts their attention, higher rates of ADHD, distractibility, and impulsiveness. Learning. Children with elevated blood lead levels are more likely to experience reading delays, math deficits, speech delays, lower standardized test scores, special ed placement, and grade retention. That's sounding MPS-like. Physical consequences. Higher lead exposure increases the risk for slowed growth, hearing impairment, kidney damage, anemia, delayed puberty, seizures, and permanent neurological injury. Most of those effects can never be reversed. Behavioral effects. Lead particularly damages the prefrontal cortex and the frontal lobe of the brain. Those regions regulate judgment, emotional control, impulse control, aggression, and decision-making. Researchers consistently observe increased rates of fighting, school discipline, suspensions, antisocial behavior, substance abuse, and unnecessary risk-taking. Juvenile delinquency, one of Milwaukee's most important studies, came from researchers at the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. Researchers examined nearly 90,000 Milwaukee residents who had childhood blood lead testing. They found elevated childhood lead significantly increased the likelihood of later involvement in firearm violence. This applied to both victims and perpetrators. More than half of the individuals involved in gun violence had elevated blood lead levels during childhood. Researchers are careful to note that lead exposure does not necessarily cause someone to become more violent. Instead, it increases the likelihood of impairments in impulse control, emotional regulation, and executive functioning. Those neurological effects can interact with poverty, trauma, poor schools, neighborhood violence, and limited opportunity to increase the level of delinquency. Thank you for listening. The lunch break is up next.
At UW-Milwaukee, students don't have to wait until college to start building their future. Roar Ready lets students K through 12th grade join in hands-on programs across campus. From science and tech to arts, sports, and more, students try new things, meet new people, and build skills that matter.